just know that the when these men come at you and they're trying to neg you and they're trying to put you down, not because you did anything wrong, it's essentially because they don't have enough confidence in themselves. When a man come and tells me, "Oh, that's why you're single," because his biggest fear is being single. He wants to be in a relationship. When they say, "Oh, you're going to unalive alone with kids," he's afraid of unaliving alone. Oh, you got them kids or whatever. He's not taking care of his kids. It's all a projection. What's up, Dex?
It's a
Hey.
no. I mean I agree with the prompt. I mean because all what you're describing it does come from insecurity and it's because like I was saying earlier is a battle with ourselves because we like to pretend to be someone. It is exhausting to be that way 24. And I think that's another thing that I add on to women, have a thing for women because women embrace who they are. Like, what I mean? Like personality, like find out who they are, like hobbies, having hobbies, building, have good friend groups and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's all, and most of the time it's organic. Where we don't have that because every 4 months. And it gets to you after a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't uphold that for too long. And then you start resenting people who can't do that and then want to break you. Because if I have to pretend and I supposed to be on top of the quote unquote food chain because that's how, that's another thing that we pretend that we, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's why I say like men not only gonna attack you, they're gonna attack your friendships. They're gonna because they're gonna be jealous when you have actual friendships where you're sitting there talking to your friends, you like venting to them about things you're going through, y'all drawing some type of connection. He's gonna get jealous of that
Right,
because the connection men have with each other is really surface level. That's why like a lot of
right,
men they participate in parallel play. Y'all hanging out together, but you're not actually interacting like that. You're not. There's no intimacy there. You can't build intimacy over like building brotherhood over hating another group of people because
right.
that's just what that end up being. So biggest fear, a biggest problem for women in these relationships is the first goal is to isolate you because you think about them. Hold on, I'm gonna mute you for a second. Dad. Think about those close relationships that women have, and then on top of that, you would think about his abandonment issues. He's going to make sure that like you don't have nobody because if you have other people, those people can tell you about who he is. You might listen to them, and he could potentially leave them. That's why men have this whole conversation that, oh, you're not supposed to leave a marriage because you're unhappy. This idea that okay, if I do marry you, you gotta stay. You can't leave. You just gotta stay, no matter what I do to you in that relationship. And that's crazy. And nobody should put up with that bullshit.
No, nobody should, but men do. And because of other men. That's that's the thing that makes me laugh too, is because men will do it just to please other men, not even themselves, because they're not happy in that situation. This system in this situation because they can't.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about the identity because like you start cosplaying as a child. That's when it starts. You constantly connect your peers on how you should act, how you should behave. This is also a problem for women who are male centered. This whole idea of trying to get validation from an outside source. Validation need to be, and you need to be able to validate yourselves. Yeah, you talk about your ideas or whatever, but it needs some. It has to be intrinsic. It's all pretend, and because so many of y'all do it, you get to pretend like, oh no, this is just how men are. No, that's what an insecure person is. And I don't care if a lot of people are insecure doing it. It's still insecurity. It is superficial, Monica. It's fine. Yeah, they always look for the approval because again, somebody else told them what a man is supposed to be. Carlos, of course, everybody has insecurities. It's not being honest about it, which is the problem. Because like if you let another person define what a man is supposed to be for you, you're gonna have problems with that. That's why when you hear these men talk, they talk about he's not a real man. That's not what a real man does. And when they say that, they're talking about themselves. They want you to be like, they want you to validate that. They're talking about themselves. They want you to be like, they want you to validate that they that real man. That's what they really want. They want to be like, yeah, it ain't what a real man do. And of course you would never do that. That's what it is. He's fishing for compliments. He's seeking validation. He wants somebody to give him an attaboy, tell him he performing masculinity the right way, that his mask isn't detectable, that he like we believe what we see. Carlos, what are you talking about? What did Monica say that would make you think that she not healed? And people are not healed, people are healing. That's weird. Now you want to neg Monica. There's always an attack. Yeah, Monica, he ain't got no answers. They don't, and a lot of times, there are women who stop suggesting therapy to men because some of them are going to therapy and they're not trying to work on themselves. They trying to learn tactics. They take the language they use to manipulate. Yeah, you misunderstood, Carlos. Yeah, you misunderstood. Yeah, but I would say they don't care about the harm they're causing. That's the thing. It's like at the end, the core of it is narcissism. It's all about them. It's like it don't matter who get hurt as long as I get to be this facade of a person that I created. Accountability for what, Carlos? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Not accountability. She ain't said no. Did she need? She said she going to therapy. How's that not taking accountability, sir? Y'all be saying some wild shit. Y'all just be saying whatever. What's up, Cha Cha? No, he not okay, Monica. She said, yeah, you probably do need therapy, Carlos. What are you talking about? Hold up. Let me see something. She never said I need therapy. She said I am in therapy. You read that wrong. Oh, well, yeah, you probably need therapy. You need therapy too. Look how you reacting. Yeah, for let's see, it's lifelong. That's why I said like this is why men can be so dangerous because they mask for decades. They mask their whole goddamn life. So yeah, they can pretend to be somebody else. They can mirror you and pretend to be somebody who's compatible with you because essentially that's their whole life. That's their whole existence. It's nothing but method acting. Y'all know what method acting is? It's like when an actor takes on a role and they immerse themselves in his personality and it can get to the point where essentially like even when they're not are like running their lines and they are that person. It's the same thing that happened to that guy who played Joker. That's what they doing. It's essentially something. It's a mask that like they've doing it so long that now it's like, oh, this is who they are, but they not. That's why a lot of them be fucked up. That's why when it comes to the self unaliving rate, 4 out of 5 times it's gonna be a man. That's why they are more likely to participate in risk-taking behavior. It's not taking. They live in survival mode. This idea is like you're not essentially living in your truth. That's gonna make anybody feel like shit. And a lot of these men be depressed. That's why they think that happiness isn't essential to life. Like, oh, if you're in a relationship and you're not happy, you just stick it out. No, what are you talking about? And that's the thing. Like, relationships are not supposed to be hard. If you think about the relationships you had with your close friends versus the shit you got put up in a relationship, there's no comparison. There's no fucking comparison. The reason why that relationship is so hard is because it's y'all not compatible. It's toxic. But they normalize that. That's supposed to be normal. You're supposed to accept that, oh, sometimes this man gonna want to argue about random shit. He's not listening to you. Conversations y'all had about the relationship, it ain't getting better. That's not how that's supposed to be. I'm noticing this in dark skinned black men too. What do you mean? You notice that in dark skinned man? Thank you, Felicity. Is it Naisi? What part are you talking about? Oh, the insecurity wise. I mean, I can see that. I've talked to multiple dark skinned men who want to deny that colorism is a thing, which is some bullshit. Because as a teacher, I know that impact boys too. It's okay. Um, all men are insecure when they align with patriarchal beliefs and no one impact myself. Yeah, that's fine, Dex. Like I said, patriarchy makes men weak. You get like the reason this whole conversation around accountability, right? The reason why men are not accountable is because essentially they live in a society where they get coddled. They get coddled by women and other men. Like how many times have we witnessed a circle jerk of a man trying to stand up for another man, even if that man like he don't know nothing about what that man did, what happened. He'll come in and like, oh, not this one. He a good one. Yeah, they don't have to do it, so they don't build that level of resiliency. That makes you weak as a person. And they don't come to us be talking about, well, y'all need to be held accountable. Women are heavily policed in society. Our whole existence is accountability. We shouldn't be accountable for so much shit. The them trying in society, and it's so weird how like single fathers get elevated over single mothers, even though single fathers don't do as much as single mothers do. But it'll be like, oh, that woman, he ain't want her. Like she didn't get married before she had those kids. She did something to chase that man away. But if a man is taking care of children, I'm not gonna say on his own, but he's a custodial parent. It's like, look at that man standing up doing the right thing. Like it in the system, so much accountability is built into the system, especially for black women. We get the brunt of everything. We get blamed everything. The community fucked up. It's our fault. These men out in the street selling candy is our fault. Men going to prisons, our fault. That man was violent towards her, our fault. The woman got raped or essayed, oh, her fault. It's our fault. Everything's our fault. So when y'all be like, women should be more accountable, of what, motherfucker? We accountable for everything. Even when y'all have y'all childhood experiences and it's tied to the fact that your father was either not there or he was there and he was basically not involved, you still blame your mother. And we talked about why that is. Because essentially the parent who stays is the one you feel more secure with. So you're going to give them shit. Because the idea is if I give you shit, you still going to love me and be there for me at the end of the day. But the parent who abandoned you, you're afraid of them leaving, that you're not going to give them shit. You're going to walk on fucking eggshells around them because you don't want to lose them. And that's why so many of these men have these sob stories about their mothers. When a man is a single dad, he gets to acknowledge how hard a parent he is. And the crazy part about that, how many times do we see when fathers have custody? One, they have a partner who is doing most of the work when it comes to the kids. They got family members who step up and take care of the kids. The kids are more likely to be at the grandmama house. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same. The kids don't be as involved in extracurriculars. They're not learning all of the same skills. It's just very interesting how they work out. Um, yeah, they go out their way to support him. Like that man who wife left him when he said he wanted to divorce her. Oh,
So what do you think?
hold on, real quick. When that man, he said he wanted to divorce his wife after she had 5 kids. It was in the UK. She took the passports of the kids and left. And what happened? His sister stepped up and helped him take care of them kids. He wanted to leave that woman with them children. Now he crying because he got to do it on his own. Um, what's up, Merchant? What you were saying?
Yeah, so I was saying, like, why do you think black men are insecure?
Are you a black man?
Yeah,
You don't sound like it.
because I'm not American.
Where you from?
Sweden.
I don't know. I don't believe.
Well,
What's your background?
like, where my ethnicity?
Mm-hmm.
Somali.
All right. So why do you think black men are insecure?
That's why I was wondering. That I'm curious.
I don't know. I've been talking about it for the last 45 minutes.
Yeah, I came right now, so I was wondering why the topic was black men are insecure.
Cause y'all let YC men define y'all.
Is it like
I just said it.
what did it say?
Y'all let YT men define y'all.
Or white men define us?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
Let me
we
give you
do
an example.
things, we do things to like please white men.
No. Tell me how you define a man.
A man is well, somebody that got the what was it? Was it XY chromosomes, or is it XL? I don't even know. Something along those lines.
Not a male, a man, sir.
Oh, you mean like the social construct one?
Yeah, the characteristics of a man.
Uh-huh. Well, the traits could be being masculine,
What does that mean? That's vague.
to protect the things that you value as a man, and
Like what?
for example, family.
Okay. So if that's tied, so if protecting your family is tied to your identity, if you don't have a family, what is that gonna make you feel?
I mean, it will feel like it's lacking, but I mean, if you don't have a family, like I can't imagine I mean, if you're talking about orphan males, then they're suffering a lot. That's why they don't
That's talking about
they
orphans, sir. We talking about grown adults, men who want like a wife with children, sir.
yeah, but like if you're talking about family, I'm also talking about the parents of that black man or the siblings of that black man.
What about them?
Protect them. That's a family as well.
Yeah, how do you protect your parents and your siblings?
Well, for example, here in Sweden, it's your, for example, black mothers or mothers that do not understand the language are more likely to be manipulated and exploited. So, as a son, and it's my duty to make sure that she fully understands what she's going through, and to make sure that she fully understands that what she's trying to do, instead of like letting these white folks manipulate her and make sure and put her in extreme situation.
So that makes you question, why did you say your mother and not your father?
because my father knows the language.
So why would your father not fulfill that role? Why would that be on you?
Because he's busy all the time.
So your father is not a protector.
I will, if you could say so.
I mean, I was talking about the man, the traditional family. So in that case, you're talking about the child as being the mother's protector, not the husband. So your father isn't a protector.
Because
So how
some
can you be?
black
Hold
some
So hold up. You didn't learn how to be a protector from your father.
you can say so.
I mean, that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I let you say that.
So wouldn't that be a
Because
your father supposed to be in his protector role, but he's not?
here's the thing. Black fathers are not really good at teaching or teaching their sons how to be men, and instead, and it's something that impacts all us men, right? So some black men, I mean, I understand it right now when you say black men are insecure, because some black men do not understand what it means to be a man because their father wasn't there in their life. Some take other sources, for example, white people, as you say, and listen from them and learn from them how to be a man. And yeah, so I understand what it. So I understand.
Yeah, so you agree with me because essentially you said that you're saying that these black don't know how to teaching your son how to be a man. I'm curious about the way you would define that man because you just said protector, but you're saying in
Yeah,
real time that we have
yeah.
generations of black men who did not learn how to be the typical man, the man that the YT man, that image he created. Y'all don't know how to live in that image.
We don't live. I mean, some people have lacking fathers do not know how to protect, and that's something that is given, and that's why we see a lot of, how to say this, say, black men out in the streets trying to create their own image of what it means to be a man. And like I said, some are even listening from white men to how to be a.
Not some, sir.
Not,
It's not just some. That's the problem. Because when you say some, it sounds like a little bit.
I mean, yeah, because I hear there are a lot of here in Sweden. There are a lot of good fathers, so I can't really say that a lot, majority of them.
So your
But
father,
in America,
your father didn't teach you how to be a man. Who taught you?
well, I would. That's what I was assuming. I was assuming as a man, you need to protect something that you value because over the course of over the course.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Sir, listen to me carefully.
Yeah.
Your father was not a protector.
Yeah.
Where did you learn that from?
Because I learned it from, how do you say this? I learned it based on how the history and how my ancestors did, because my culture emphasizes protecting the things that you value as a man, to give and to not let somebody else.
You can't say your culture. You just said the men don't know how to teach being a man, right? So it's not in the culture. Hold up. It's not in the culture because they're not doing it. Who taught you how to be a man?
My culture.
Lord. And I saw you unmuted. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, because I'm a little confused because it seems like he doesn't know what he's not secure in what it is he's saying. He's not sure what a man is. He's not sure if his dad is a man. He's not sure if man is his culture is man, a man. So, could you explain to me what a man is? Like, when you teaching, if you have to teach a boy to be a man, like, walk me through it.
I'll teach them what I know. Like I said, to protect what you value, and if that, and
okay.
Maybe, and yeah. So yeah, that's all. That's.
So wait. So all you tell him. So if it is right. So the conversation will be like, hey, you just need to protect what you have.
No, that's not how you father your children. as a father,
So
as
that's
a
why I'm
father,
asking you. So
yeah,
that's why
as
I'm
a
asking you.
look,
Walk
if
me
I'm gonna
through this
father my children,
conversation.
if I look as a father, I will teach them by action and behavior to show them that I'm
Teach them
protecting what I
what?
value,
Teach
Teach
them
them
what?
what?
to protect them what I value,
Okay,
Like
wait. Hold
what?
on.
and I show them by behavior, not by words, because
What?
words are easy. You
Describe
can
it.
say
Describe it. You're just saying something
perfect,
vague.
perfect,
Describe it.
perfect, perfect. Some, for example, many fathers over here, they like to appeal for the white folks when the child has done something wrong. But as a father, you need to stand up for them. You need to show them that you're there to protect them. You need to show them that
How
they
would you
are
show it?
under your
Like, give me an
protection.
example. How
And
would
when
you
you
show it? How
wait,
would you show it? How?
for example, stand up for them. Like for example, if they let's say there are many cases where there are many cases where immigrant children are getting discriminated and falsely accused by the white folks. How and what do the immigrant parents do? They appeal to them. So as a father, you need to stand up for them, even if it means that, oh yeah, you will lose, you will go minus or whatever. Yes, at least you have protected that child, and that child will see that as something positive and will carry on, carry that for the rest of their lives.
So, so, so you were just, so you waiting for the opportunity to just step in and say, well, all right, I'm going to protect them, and to show them that, right?
Yeah, I'll show them. Yes.
All right. So what else? What else? So like, because that, how often you think that happens?
How often? I mean, if you're a good father, it happens very often, I think.
So where do you? Okay. Give me another example because we'll go down a rabbit hole with that one. Give me another example of what would you teach a boy to be a man?
How would I teach to be a man? I mean,
Yeah, that's what we're talking
what
about,
can I?
right?
I mean, well, what can I teach? I mean, I can show them how I behave, and that's about it.
So okay, so you gave me one example. Give me another example of how you behave that shows
Yeah.
that this is what a man's
So
supposed to behave.
and secondly, to stand up for yourself. To stand up for yourself.
You said that
It's
already. I'm
all
asking
about.
for.
It's all about. Yes, it's all about self-respect. Because as a person who, if you, you as a human being, you need to have self-respect. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you are a woman or a man. You need to
Okay,
show them
okay, that's
self-respect.
that. Listen, wait. What I'm saying is, women do that too,
Yeah,
right?
that's why I said as a human.
So okay, so it's not, that is not a man thing.
Perfect. So what can I say then? What else is there a private lesson that I should teach to a man?
No.
Maybe
You say you know. Wait, hold up. You said you know how to
I
teach boys
said
to be a man. So don't
I
ask me.
no I said I will
Ask
teach them
them.
how to protect
Right.
what they
So
value.
tell me how you're going to teach them. Like,
I
act
said
like
I
if
will
I'm
teach
a
them.
boy. Act like if I'm a boy, right? And teach me how to be a man.
I
Just
can't teach
pretend
you.
that I'm a
I
boy.
can't teach you because many people have different views of what a man is.
Oh, so you really can't teach a boy to be a man because he has to figure that out.
I can't. No. The answer you said. Can you teach me? I can't teach you because you're a grown man. You have you view. Well, you have your opinion on what a man is.
No, I don't have an opinion on what a man is.
Yeah, perfect. So so I can't teach you. I
Listen,
will
you know
teach my
why?
son.
Wait. Do you know why I don't have an opinion of what a man is?
Huh?
Okay, because every one of us is individual. The problem with being a man is because it's harmful. If you look at what a man is, it builds system to uphold what man is. It takes away your own personality. It takes away who you are.
Yes. I agree
Wait,
with
let me
that.
just finish.
I've said
Let me finish.
I
Let me
have
finish.
said it. Yeah,
Let me finish.
continue.
Let me finish. Let me finish. It takes away who you are as a person. So you are no longer a person. You have to uphold this oppressive system that has been plaguing this planet for centuries. So you now want to teach boys how to how to be in the system and uphold it. That is what you're trying to do. So that's what I'm saying. I don't view that way because I don't want to be a part of an oppressive system.
Dex, do you know that your children is looking at you and then they are basically adopting your behavior. The way you behave is how they see it. Like for example,
No,
your sons, how you behave is what they see as them. Wait, can you stop? Can you,
you
I'll
children.
let you speak, and then and I will love if you can let me speak. So I would love if you can let me speak. So your sons will see how you behave, and they will think that's how a man is. And same likewise, I will behave in a way that I believe that I believe would be a man. And based on that
No, but
behavior,
you
I will
can't.
let my sons adopt that
Discipline,
behavior.
discipline,
So again,
discipline.
Well,
so
Can I ask you a
so
question?
again, what you just
Discipline.
Hold up, y'all. Let him land. Y'all let him land real quick.
yeah. So yeah, and I will behave in a certain way. I'll behave to show that what a man is, and that's how they will learn how to be a man. And
okay.
and I agree with you, Dex. I agree with you. You said it's hard to have was it an objective answer to what a man is, and that is true because everybody has a different answer to what a man is. Some say, "Oh,
So
it's
again,
this and that and this and that," and I agree to that. And the
so
whole question,
well,
the whole thing about me was when Tara asked the question, she said, what do you think a man is?" I will go in off of myself. I wasn't going off of general public or population or whatever.
so so I don't know if you realize that you contradicted yourself. You can't
I'm
agree
not
with
contradicting.
me, but let me explain why. You can't agree with what I said, but then want your boys to follow what you exactly what it is you do it. That
No,
means that they
that's
don't.
not, that is
Wait.
not,
Let me just finish. Let me explain why it is what it is. Because now they just following you. They're not making
right.
or finding who they are as a person. So it went right back again for what it is I was saying. That is you upholding what man is. Because man is a
No,
system.
sorry, but no, I
You are just
disagree because your child,
wait, let me finish. Wait, hold up. You are following other men and you are imitating other men, and you want your boys to imitate you while you was imitating other men. So you have no
I
personality.
don't
So you
know.
just that's why.
That's an
Let me just
assumption.
finish.
That's an
That is
assumption.
why this system of man has lasted this long. You are literally contradicting yourself because I said the total opposite
No.
of what it is you said. So you can't agree with me
And
when I'm saying the opposite of what it is you're saying. I
yeah,
have
perfect. Yeah,
so
you're,
so so that's hold
I
up.
love,
That's, hold up a second. That's why
yeah,
you
continue.
rationalizing a contradiction, and that is
Yeah,
also an
perfect.
issue
Yeah,
because you cannot
I love,
agree
you
with the
know,
opposite view
yes,
while
yes,
saying
I
Hold up,
understand.
merchant. Hold up, merchant.
yeah,
Yes, I
you cannot
understand.
agree. Oh, all right, because again, I have a daughter.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't tell her what to be, right? Just teach her critical thinking so she can think and make choices on her own. And I help her find herself, right?
look, maybe you have
So I
misunderstood me.
enjoy watching her.
Maybe you have misunderstood me,
Wait,
or I don't know.
wait,
Maybe it could be
wait,
that. But
Wait,
my,
discipline.
but yeah, continue.
Follow the name, your own name. Have some discipline here for a second.
Yeah, sure, continue.
That, so what I'm saying is, I enjoy watching her find herself, making her
Yeah,
decisions. She have
yeah,
when she has questions or she talk to me about stuff that she's thinking about or having issues. We talk about it, so then she could understand how to make decisions when she's faced with certain either trials, tribulation, or even things that she wants to figure out about herself, things that she likes, she don't like. Like That is her finding herself, me just guiding her, not her following me and just imitating me. Because I'm not no longer here for her to see what will happen there. Now she's
No,
not
look,
gonna find
I will.
someone else to imitate,
Hold up,
and that's what
Merchant.
men. And that's what men been doing. We just finding other men to imitate because we don't know ourselves, and that's what you just described.
Hold
So
up, Merchant.
here's
Hold up, Merchant. Cha wanted to say something.
continue.
Hiya,
Yeah,
thank you. I just wanted to know, Discipline, how old you are.
20.
You're only 20. And
Yep.
it sounds like from a lot of what you've been saying is you've been trying to kind of make excuses for men being insecure. And I think that's part of the insecurity as well when you display that. So when you're telling us, oh, it's because of this reason and it's because of that reason, that's
Oh no,
again another
I
part of
did
the
not.
insecurity. I'm not
I did
finished
not say.
talking.
Hold up, Merchant.
I'm not finished talking.
Yeah, continue.
That's part of the insecurity that a lot of men have, and you've displayed that. You know, that at 20
Yeah.
years of age, you've said, you know, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And there's a lot of people that don't have the support of their father, and that's why they are like this. And again, that's what men's insecurity teaches them, is that if they blame everything and everybody else, then somehow that will allow them to have empathy from women who are not allowed and not given a break. You know, despite whatever upbringing might have been, we're not given a break at all. And so when you're saying that you are a protector and your father's a protector and he's a busy man, he's doing this and that, then, you know, it's not necessarily accurate. Absolutely, it might be protecting you and your mother, but it's not what a protector really is, you know. And I think that men need to stop telling themselves or trying to convince the world that they are protectors when they are everybody's biggest predator, you know, in the world. And again, if you were everybody's biggest predator in the world, but you're still trying to gaslight and tell everybody that you're the protector of the world or protector of women or anything else like that, when we all know that it's lies, you would only tell those lies if you were deeply insecure. So again, it kind of validates the prompt that black men are insecure, and it shows that by what you've said and what a lot of the other black men often say, that they are protectors and providers of their immediate family. And one of the things I wanted to ask you as well, was it Sierra Leone that you came from?
Yeah, I came from Sweden. Yeah.
Okay. And are you or your father doing anything to stop and campaign for FGM to stop?
Oh, definitely, 100%.
So are you
FGM.
active in
Yes,
that? Are you active in that in terms of
I'm
your
100% active in that.
good? Because that's something that you can say, well, look, this is what I'm contributing to, and using that platform to kind of highlight those injustices rather than talking about you and your father. Do you know what I mean?
No,
And that's what
yes.
men often don't do enough of that, because that would be a form of protection. So if you held alive and said everybody to come here and this is what you were doing to support that, then that would have been better. That would have shown to us that you are somebody who is secure and trying to protect people and other women within your community. So until you're doing that, until men stop centering themselves in everything, and that's what you've done here, until you stop centering yourself in everything, then you are insecure.
Here's the
And that's
thing.
just a fact. There's nothing to dispute that, because if you weren't insecure,
Right.
it wouldn't all be about you. And I'll land there.
Yes. Yes. Correct. You can call that insecure. Yeah, but I first of all, I wasn't really how to say this. I wasn't even praising my father. I wasn't really saying that he was being good as a father, because otherwise I will start to talk about how I see my father as a motivator or whatever, how he motivates me. He kind of
Yeah, but
motivates
take
me
it out of
indirect.
yourself. Take it out of yourself and speak in
Yes,
generalities. But you centering yourself and your family, that again is insecurity, because we're talking about men. So it's more than one, and we're not directing it directly at you. Hit dogs will holler. But one of the biggest thing that men always do is they center the prompt around themselves, that's a deep showing of insecurity. That's what we're talking about. So you even centering yourself in your family in any way is the insecurity that we're talking about. That's that.
Yeah. So when I came in here, I was asking the question why she thought black men are insecure, because I was curious, because I don't even know. And she asked me questions and I answered. I said, and she asked me, what do you think a man is? I wasn't really talking about myself. She was asking me questions
I
about
was
what.
here for the whole conversation. I'm telling you, I
Yes,
seen and
yes.
saw what you
She,
said,
Maya,
and you
can
were
you let,
centering
can you let,
yourself, regardless of what the questions were. Again, blaming other people for
I wasn't
not
blaming
understanding the
anybody. I
prompt
wasn't
and
blaming
responding
anybody.
insecurely is still
You're,
on you.
you're just missing the
No,
context here
you're missing the
because
conversation. You're missing it. You're a 20-year-old
no,
fetus and you're telling
no,
me, oh, this is what happened. I've seen it. I was here
no.
for the whole thing. But what I'm saying to you is that all of what you've said shows insecurity. And that's okay because you're only 20, so you can still
I,
grow up. But at the
I,
same time, stop centering yourself. And
I
yeah,
wasn't
you are
centering myself
insecure.
in. No, nobody did. I did not do that. She asked me a question. I answered it. That's it. There is not. I did not brag about myself. I did not brag about my father. Did not brag about anything. You said. You said. When I talked about protection, I was talking about. I was mainly talking about family protection. I don't see myself as a public hero or whatever or stuff like that. I don't see that myself. I don't see that as myself. And going back to Dex, no, I wasn't contradicting myself because you can think. I like to use this analogy because it's really how I can solve this misunderstanding. You can think of your children having a pot. You add your own flavor, but they're still
Stop
going
telling
outside. They're
people
still
how
going
to be
outside.
parents. Stop
There's
it.
no.
Are you a
That's.
parent?
Can
Stop
you
it.
please can you please let me respond to the Dex, and then you can criticize me as much as you like. Uh, so that's how. What I was trying to say is that you can see children, you can see your children as having a pot. You the father adding a flavor, perfect, but that's not the thing is not done. They go outside, they see how other people behave. The pot is getting filled with different flavors, and the end result is what they see as a man or as a woman. And so basically, yes, it completely aligns with what people say about genders and gender roles. That gender roles are mainly social construct because when you go outside, it impacts how you view what a man is, and when it wherever you go, it impacts how you view what a man is. So it's and I'm not and no child I'm not trying to teach anybody how to father their own children. He was talking about how I would father my children, and I was addressing those kind of issues. I wasn't teaching anybody anything. I was just addressing his points, and that's about it. So I wasn't contradicting myself. That's it.
Dex, do you want to respond to him? I mean, I think the contradiction comes from again, um, because you never answered my question.
Yeah, sorry. There were a lot of
Let
questions.
me talk about the question you didn't answer, because you were like you protect what your father didn't, right? So my question
Yeah,
is, where did you
yeah.
learn how to be a man? Because you didn't say
What do you
something.
say?
You said, where did you get from this protector being the type of man you are? Because like that's a talking point. That's a
That's
word.
how I see. That's how I
That's what
see
I'm saying. Where
outside.
do you think that came from, sir? Where do you think that came
It came
from?
from being out and seeing things, seeing a lot of things. Being outside, watching movies, watching shows,
So
uh,
media.
a lot
You
of
got it
things.
okay,
Yes,
okay, sir. And who created that media that you're consuming?
the media that we're consuming. I mean, a lot of people did.
What type of people?
Uh, what do you mean by type? Do you mean like race?
How do you see the question, sir? Who? Because you have this idea what a man is, and you say you consumed it from media.
Yeah,
Do you know why media is?
I think that would mainly be. white people, I think, because they're the one they are the majority ones.
Okay, so if you are getting your identity of what you think a man should be, not by what you think a man should be, not by your father, but by media, then who is defining manhood for you, sir?
And also my mother.
No, 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 no,
My
no.
mother,
No, no, no. Don't
and
try to
also
throw your mother in there
I
now.
yeah, because you were asking about black what's it called again, shows and stuff like that, and I answered that question. But there are a lot of factors:
Okay.
shows, movies, my mother, um, my what's it called again? Outside, going outside and seeing how parents treat their children, and how fathers are mainly protecting and
No, no, no,
you
no.
know.
You can't say that because you just said a lot of men. Your father wasn't protector. You can't say because
No,
you
no,
now
not
you
not not my
hold
father.
up,
No, I was
pause,
not my father.
sir, sir, sir. You just said a lot of black men don't know how to treat boys how to be a man. You said that earlier, so you can't then throw
Oh yeah,
fathers back into. Hold up, sir. You can't then throw
yeah,
fathers back into the equation.
yeah.
So you're consuming media created by YT men, and that's how you define being a man. Even when you talk about the behaviors you learn from your mother, you're not saying these are traits that humans have. You're taking the traits that you think, oh, this is what a man is supposed to be. But it's highly influenced by the media you're consuming. So if that's the case, who's defining manhood for you? Because
The society.
okay, the society, but the media, you said that YT men are creating the media that you're
You,
consuming. So you're watching this movie
the
that
media
hold up,
is
sir. You're watching this movie that was created by a team of YT men. They're telling you, oh, this is what a man looks like. And then you watch it and say, oh, this is the type of man I want to be. You are in yourself learning what it is to be a man from YT men. So when I made that point earlier, sir, it applies to you.
the media is a reflection of the society. It portrays what the society is about.
You
It
know what
really,
propaganda is?
and you
No, no,
could
no.
argue
What's
that it's
propaganda?
propaganda that is pushing a narrative.
No, no, no. But do you know
For
what
example,
propaganda is?
well,
It's
propaganda
propaganda, sir. It's
spreading,
propaganda, sir. Is
yeah,
propaganda a reflection of society, or is propaganda pushing a view on society?
you could say it's pushing a view, yeah.
So you believe that all the media you see is just a representation of what society is. You don't think any of that could be a view that's being pushed.
You could argue that is a reflection of society
I
because a
can't.
lot of
It's not
people have
going to.
different
I
views.
am arguing this, sir.
Because we have a lot of people who have different opinions. For example, there are right wing medias that are leaning towards certain groups within the society. There are also other medias leaning towards other groups of society. So in the end, the shows and the media, whatever I'm consuming, is mainly about how is mainly a reflection of the society. When I'm scrolling on TikTok, I'm seeing different people and different people from different backgrounds and how they embrace their families and stuff like that. And I take what is good and I don't take what is bad. And I don't take what is bad. Basically that. So to me, I don't get the definition of man for one only source because that will be like Dex said, continuing a system which could perhaps be bad to some other people. So I mix.
So you are describing not actually being yourself.
Well,
I don't know if you realize you're describing that you just following other people. You haven't talked about yourself, but like you being who you are as a person.
I don't. Dex, you do know that. You do know that as an individual, it's hard to say that you're not getting influenced by external factors because in the end you will get influenced one way or the other. So to say that, oh yeah, you're following other people, yes, I am. I mean, just like anybody. I don't
Yes,
think anybody is here isolated, living in an island where they have no internet, no nothing.
Okay, so you're not understanding what I'm saying, right?
No, you're saying
What I'm
that
saying
you're
is, what
following.
I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying.
Continue.
You are describing, even the way you describe how you would teach boys is to just follow. Do as I do,
That is not what
right?
I said.
Just,
That's not what I said.
that is literally what you said. You would show
No.
them. Didn't you
Yeah,
say
I'm
you
gonna
would
show
show them? All right,
show
so
them with
when they,
behavior. I'm not
right,
going to
so
like.
behave, right. So what do you think a behavior is? So what do you think they would do? They would just follow you, right?
I mean, they follow me to an extent, but not entirely. Yes.
No,
Okay,
no,
continue.
but listen to what it is you're saying. You saying you would show them what to do. This is what a man is, and they would follow.
I
Correct?
will not. If you're thinking that I'll teach them by pointing and telling them that's what a man is, no, I will show them by behavior. I will behave the way
Right.
that
So
the
when they
way I
follow
believe
your
as a man.
behaviors,
And
what
and
are they
and
doing when they follow it?
wait, and they will follow that behavior to an extent, but it doesn't mean that they will follow it entirely. They will go outside to the at one point and see what other people how other fathers
Right.
behave,
And then
and they will
follow
take
someone
that
else. Right.
as a
And then
way
follow
to.
someone. And then follow someone.
Yeah, so far you can say they're following
Then
people. Yes.
listen to what it is I'm saying. You are teaching boys to do the same thing that you are doing, that men have always been doing. Just follow other men.
Follow what
It's
teaching? I'm not.
literally what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. You can't agree with what I am saying because I'm talking about the polar opposite.
All right.
I am talking about what I describe is us figuring out who we are as a person, right? Because what I have between my legs doesn't define who I am, right? What my chromosomes is. You remember you were talking about XY, and you couldn't.
But Dex, you do know
Right.
that when you say
No,
when
wait,
you
Let me
say
just finish.
continue.
So what I'm saying is, everything you're describing there, it has no humanity as a person, and you're trying. That
Yes,
said that you couldn't talk about a man from your point of view because you don't have that. You
yes.
don't know
Continue.
as a quote unquote man because you have to follow someone else. So you don't even know who you are as a person. You are literally just
Right.
picking from other people and just following it and just trying to carbon copy it.
I do know who
That
I
is
am as a
literally an
person.
empty shell. Like literally,
I will
that's
show
what
you.
men have always done.
No,
Is be an
it's
empty
like
shell of other people, other men.
So first of all, when you
Listen,
said discover as a person, or is you, I love that you're emphasizing individuality, which is nice, and that you have to discover yourself as a person, but uh, knowing what a man is, what a woman is part of that discovery. Because at one point you will wonder, oh, um, I'm more related to this gender, so therefore I will look at how they behave, and I will adopt some of their behavior, make my own view of what a man is. So yes,
okay,
I do know what a man is. I do know
no,
who I
no,
am
no,
because
because
I do know who I
listen,
am because I take the parts that I see and I make my own thing, right? I make my own identity based on what I take.
what
So
is
no,
your identity? Right?
I'm not creating a new identity because that will mean that I'm a Albert Einstein or something of that level, making a new identity from that nobody else has made. It's interesting, but I'm not capable enough of that. But I still have my own identity because I have picked the things that I saw as good and shows that as my identity.
Do you realize you just contradicted your own self in your own
No, I
explanation?
like that you repeat. I like that you're repeating. I like that you're repeating that over and over again. But I haven't said that. I am not contradicting myself. I've explained it.
No, you didn't
Time.
say you didn't say you contradicting yourself. I'm pointing out that you are contradicting
Can you tell me where I'm contradicting myself?
because again you said that you cannot create your own identity,
Yeah.
but then said that that's what you're going to do at the end. At the end.
I never said I would create my own identity. I have literally explained it to her. She said, "What do you think?" She said, "What do you think a man is?" And I've explained it to her that, or she asked me actually, where did you
When
get
you
this view of manhood? And I answered it. I said that I get it from the social medias, going outside, my mother, and a lot of other factors. I've never said I'm creating identity from thin air. I never said
no
that. And
no listen, wait, hold on.
throughout my time here, I never said that.
You,
As a
you're,
man, you should
you remember
continue.
you remember when I told you that you are just following men, and you said no,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
yeah,
And
you
then
can say that.
you are, because I don't know if you realize you're jumping around. You're
I'm
saying
not
yes,
jumping around.
no, yeah. That was saying. I know you don't realize that you're doing it.
Okay, so basically, all right, following other people, sure. And you
Right.
think that contradicts with what it's like to be to create a, what did it say?
So again, so now you understand what I'm saying. You are just doing the same thing that all men have been doing, just following other men without
Yeah,
having identity of yourself. That's why it was
yeah.
hard for you to say
No,
that
I
I can speak
disagree.
about the man. Wait a minute. One thing is that's why it was hard for you to say you can describe yourself as a man. You have to describe a generic man
No,
because you
Dex.
don't have that. You have to now try to figure out a way to explain other men and fit yourself in it.
Dex, I will answer it again. I will say it again, and bear with me this time because I said that. Yes, see, and I disagree with the part they said that I don't have an identity. I'm simply having a. I'm simply follow other people, but that's incorrect. I believe that my identity is made up of different parts that I took from different people. Do it. Yeah, you can say that I'm following other people, sure, whatever. But that's my identity. That's my pot. That's how I see myself, right, as an individual. And when you said about my children following me, no, they don't. They're not gonna follow me entirely. That's given. That's unrealistic here. It's like, am I gonna put them in a what? Like in a chamber, close them there? No, I will. They will go outside. They will see what it's like to be a man slash woman. It's impossible to say that it's impossible to say, oh yeah, um to create an identity from thin air, because you will not. You're not isolated from the world. You will get influenced one way or the other, and whatever you have in that pot is who you are in the end.
So, so again, you contradict yourself again because
Yeah,
you're saying
I
it
don't think you realize he's saying the same thing over and over again.
over and
Yes,
over.
because he's telling
Literally,
me that I'm
you're
You're
contradicting,
contradicting
and
repeating
I'm
it.
yourself.
not getting. Okay, look, I'll make it easy. Key point where I'm contradicting. Where
Like
I'm
when I
contradicting.
hold up. So you saying talking about you fabricate. That's I'm gonna mute you for a second. You fabricated this
I'm not
persona.
fabricating.
Pause, sir. Pause. You came up with this identity for yourself from a lot of media and essentially
Yeah,
people around you. You're not talking about
yeah.
your own personal journey. You're not talking about how you're in touch with yourself. Even the
That's
fact that
pers.
hold up, pause, sir. Even the fact that you sit here saying, "Oh, let me say this," and you repeat yourself over and over and over again, you lack a level of self awareness. You haven't, and you're young.
Tara.
Sir, I'm still talking. I didn't interrupt you.
Here, continue.
You're still young. You're in late stage adolescence. The whole idea is that you can still formulate your own identity. It shouldn't just be based on what you see in media and other people, their personal journeys you go through, their how you look inward. You go to therapy. You can think about how you persevere in certain obstacles and so on and so forth. So, for example, when you say you helped your mother when she's struggling to learn the language, you could say, well, you're someone who like to help people to avoid vulnerable positions. Don't go for the whole blanket protector because you feel like, oh, as a man, it got to be a protector. You're trying to fit a peg into a square hole or whatever. There's a lot that you need to do to formulate your own identity. You can't just look in the world and say, I'm going to take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because it's still a performance. You're still
Right.
looking at, because look, I'm pretty sure the people you're taking these traits from are in high position, right? Are considered these quote unquote leaders. You're looking outward in who you are in yourself. I don't understand how that can be confusing, but that's what you're doing.
Right. So, sure, personal experiences. Yeah, I mean, it makes up a majority of your identity. I know that, but I'm still, if personal, right. So, yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Yeah, so I know you want to fight us on this, but the age you are and you still formulating that full identity, like, you really should listen more. Like, try to be more in touch with who you are as a person. Because essentially, when you're looking at everything in society to formulate your personality, you're essentially conforming. You're conforming. You're not looking for people who are outcasts. You're not looking at people who are being no unique selves. You're looking at the tradition. You're looking at the patterns. Oh, this is how people respond to this type of person. That's who I want to be. You're striving to be something that's outside of yourself. That's a problem. That's a major problem. I know it happens all the time, but that doesn't make it okay. The more you do that, the less you are going to be in touch with who you actually are as a person. Because you might put yourself, for example, you say this whole protector thing. You might put yourself in a position where you could be harmed, not protecting because you feel like it. All right, I should be protecting, but feel like you're supposed to do something that could, like, you're trying to protect this persona of yourself. That's what ended up happening. You're going to be so infatuated and trying to protect this persona that you told yourself that you are, even if that's not who you are. Your behaviors come natural, but you're going to be forcing things. That's what I was saying. He's still young. He's still formulating his identity. But if he stay on this same trajectory of, oh, I'm gonna take a little bit of this and this and this, he's gonna be the typical man, which is a problem. I'm done. You go ahead.
Discipline. I think that's what everybody's saying, is that for a lot of men and within the manosphere, men really don't know who they are. And we're talking about grown men who have their frontal lobes fully developed. Few of them actually know who they are. And they only really know who they are in relation to a woman. And what we want for younger people, younger men especially, is to have their own sense of identity and not to believe in the bullshit of misogyny, not to believe in red pill attitudes and behaviours, because all that does is harm men and is dangerous to women. It does nobody any good. And so it's okay if you're finding yourself, that's okay. You know, we understand that, and we want that for every young person, to find who they are, figure out their likes, dislikes, explore, experiment, do whatever they have to do. And so that's why when you come on here, I was saying, don't try and tell people this, that, the next thing, because it did sound like that. And it is just about your own self-awareness, you know, do you? But when we're talking about men being insecure, we can see that. We're pointing that out. And it's not an attack on any individual in particular. It is an attack on the men who are pushing misogyny, who are pushing misogynoir, who are okay with the way things are. And it doesn't serve us as black people. It doesn't serve us as women. It doesn't serve men either, because the self-unalive rates are still increasing. So nothing is what the patriarchy has currently isn't working. It's harming everybody. And as part of your identity or knowing who you are, it's not to hold yourself up to stereotypes that are unachievable. And the red pill manosphere tends to do that, tries to get vulnerable young men on board to say, look, if we just blame women, if we try and make women subservient, if we try to get rich and have a six-pack, things will be okay. And that's not true. So that's what we are saying. That's what's the insecure about a lot of men, is that they tend to believe in these lies. They tend to believe in the cult of YT supremacy, even the black men. And we're saying that that's another red flag of how insecure they actually are. They can't sit in their own space and time and think, okay, I understand why women are not wanting to deal with men. I can see the harm that's happening for women, violence against women and girls. I can understand and see all of that, and I don't want to contribute to that, so I'm going to try and actively fight against it. And it could just be something as simple as calling out men and their bad behaviour, or unpacking your own misogyny. That's a good starting point, but it's okay to figure out who you are. It's just that there's a lot of men who are insecure.
And that's another layer too, Cha, because we have taken insecurities, well, men have taken insecurities and made it seem like a sign of dominance. So what happens is, when this man think he's adopting these traits that elevates him, they're insecurities. They are insecurities. Men not holding themselves accountable for things and blaming their problems on women. Like, what the fuck is that? Men feeling like they not a whole person unless they have a family up under them so they can fulfill these roles. What the fuck is that? At the end of the day, it's insecurity. But y'all can't recognize it as an insecurity because so many men are doing it. Because so many men are doing the same exact thing. You think, oh, this is just what men are supposed to do. You don't realize that man, it's a mask. He's wearing a mask. He's not even being true to himself. Like, y'all don't
So
see it.
so it's so in the end, it's about focusing on yourself rather than just trying to put on someone else's shoe or something like that.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Go have your own life journey. Have your own experiences. And I don't know if you want to take advice or not, but I'm telling you, at 20, like, it's a good time to, like, okay, let me just go out here and be me and figure out who I am as a person. Let me not try to slap a label on who I am. Because you got all these labels and you trying to make yourself fit into these labels that you just fucking exist. And after you pay attention to what you're doing and how you respond, think, okay, this is who I am. And those things can change throughout your life. You don't have to be what everybody else is to fit in. It's okay to be independent. Does that mean everybody going to agree with you? No. But who the fuck cares? When you sure yourself, you don't give a fuck. But the thing is, like I said, men have convinced the world that their insecurities are dominance. The idea that I have to be the one in charge, I'm the leader of all this, that's a fucking insecurity. You're not naturally gravitating to something. People are saying, oh, I see the leadership qualities in what you're doing. No, you're saying, this is who I am. And they throw a fucking tantrum when they can't be just that. And if you're trying to be who society is telling you to be, you can't critique it then. You're not going to be able to see it from the outside looking in because you're so busy trying to get into the club. Not knowing that inside the club, they fucking miserable.
Right, Tara. And that's what I was trying to point out to him, that he's describing him fitting into just a system of man. Like, have no identity of himself at all. Like, he literally erased it. But making it seem that it's okay to not have a personal identity, but just this identity that other men. So he just what other men and what men been saying, and he's talking about like media and stuff like that. So like, you know what I mean? Describing him just falling into like this conveyor belt of man. You know what I mean? And that's what we explain to you is you need to try to figure out to be a better person. Like,
But here's a question. Here's a question, but don't isn't like you said you talked about being yourself and not minding what other people have to say about you. But isn't that more problematic because you could be an outcast?
A what?
An outcast is somebody who's outside.
So,
Oh,
so
okay.
you would not.
So that speaks. Okay, so that speaks on the insecurity in itself, and this is why men. This is why it's set up for you to like essentially fall into place. Because the idea, like, oh, if I don't act like all the other men, they're going to reject me.
But it's not something that is unique to men as well. It's women, humans. Humans do it because they want to relate to a community. They don't want to be
Yeah.
outside
So
of the community.
I can actually speak onto that because it's very hard for me to find community out in the real world. Like I was just speaking on that yesterday. That is it's not easy for me to find community because conformity is everywhere, and I'm sure in some ways I conform too. But some of the traits that are pushed onto women, I'm rejecting heavily. Which is why I say all the time, I come to social media and find my people. I don't need a big ass group. I don't need to be part of the biggest group. I just need enough people that I can feel validated in. And we have our own mini community within the larger community. That's enough for me. But when you say rejected, who are you talking about? Because you just said, listen to what you just said earlier. These black men don't know how to teach their young boys how to be men. So you're talking about being rejected by the group who's not doing the thing that they claim that they're doing. Why would you want to be in that?
What did you say again? Can you repeat it?
No, man. I don't be just repeating shit. That's crazy. Why would you want to be amongst the men who not living up to the standard they set for themselves?
Well, that's a hard question. I can't answer for you because
So that's the group you talking about. You don't want to be outcast from them. You want those men to welcome you.
yeah, because some people, I mean, I would say all humans wants to socialize, wants to be within a group that they
Let me ask you a question.
interact with.
Let me ask you a question. Are you telling
Yeah.
me you don't respect somebody who can just be themselves?
I
Who
mean,
said
I do
fuck with,
respect them.
hold up. Fuck what everybody else saying. To
Yeah.
hell with the rules. This is who I am. You telling me you wouldn't respect somebody like that?
I mean, like, I would find it cringe, weird,
Why?
because that's how the community or people view outcasts.
Who?
That's how people view outcasts. For
You're
example,
missing
let's say,
my
I
point.
mean,
Listen to
I
what I'm
mean,
saying. The community, listen to what I'm saying. The
yeah,
community that you're talking about is a
yeah,
bunch of insecure people trying to
yeah,
fit into the mold.
yeah.
You're talking about there's too many people in our society who hold these deep insecurities and they're trying to fit into the mold. So yeah, you can be amongst them and you won't be outcasted. You'll be part of the group, but you're still going to be lonely and miserable within the group. That's what you're missing. It's not like they all happy and having a good time over there. They're miserable.
But I don't think they'll be
But
lonely.
hold up. And when they suppress who they really are in order to be in that group, it don't matter if everybody in the group is doing it. That's what you got to do to be in that group. So my question
Yeah,
to
but
you, which is what you prefer? Would you rather be amongst the group? Because you get to choose. Would you rather be
because
amongst the group? Or
yeah,
would you rather find out who you are and then find your people?
since loneliness is really painful and intolerable, I'll choose community, even if it's flawed.
Well, there you go.
It's really hard to be. You could be who you are, be who you are, and be independent. But you need to also accept the consequences. Like, for example, being an outcast, being lonely, and loneliness is something. It's not something to joke
Nobody
about.
said lonely. Hold up. Nobody said lonely. You missed what
I
I
mean,
said.
you're
I
more
said the
likely.
people. No. the people in the group, the community, the larger group, those people actually are lonely.
I don't think that's true because you're more likely to be lonely when you're an outcast
You
than
think
in a
you
community.
because you think just because people are around you, that's not loneliness. You don't
But
realize
you
that
won't.
people. No. You don't realize that somebody could be amongst other people and still be lonely. You don't know what lonely
They
is.
will feel like they're not being their true selves, but they will not feel lonely because there are people around them.
Discipline, there's people that are lonely in marriages. There are people who are lonely in large communities. It doesn't change what loneliness actually is. And the thing is, I would rather be authentically myself and alone than be with people who are not there for me, really. And I think that's why men cannot understand why women are choosing to be on their own. We are choosing to be on our own rather than be around men because their loneliness is causing danger. They are doing and saying and being egregious in their behaviour because women are leaving them alone. They are unaliving alone in hospitals, and they're doing all of those things because of their egregious behaviour and attitudes towards women, femme-presenting people and children. And I don't have any empathy for those men because they could have changed their behaviour, they could have learned new things, they could have got a hobby, they could have done 1,000,001 other things. So if they're lonely, then that's on them. That's a male loneliness epidemic. It's not happening for women, and it's not happening for women because we are talking to other women about our issues, talking to therapists, getting more education, and doing other activities and not centering around men and relationships. And within that, there's communities to be built. So it really is up to men. If they don't want to be alone, then it shouldn't be that you have to agree with the misogyny. Why can't you then start your own group or community where it says, let's be better men and we fight for FGM? Do you know, there's loads of things that other men can do. And that's okay if you're an outcast, but that's on you and your insecurity if you feel that way.
He's missing a vital point. Is the way that men identify themselves, like he needs a woman to also perform for him to fulfill that role. That's another problem. This is why men become harmful, because you want to be part of this group so bad. You care about your own self-preservation that now you need another woman to go along for your identity. This is why y'all are harmful to women, because we can't just be, because y'all need us to be the man that you want to be. That's the problem. What's up, Lynn?
Hey y'all, hold on. I'm not ready yet.
That's fine. You want to respond to that? Merchant?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I understand that. I understand.
Hey, let me be real specific. I'm gonna be real specific. The idea that you have in your mind of what a man is, can you be a single man, or does it require women?
Oh, you can definitely be a single man.
All right, tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean,
How
you
does
could be a
this
single
community
man
feel
and
about
still
single
protect.
men?
You could still be a man and still protect.
Protect what?
For example, I would protect children and women.
Who children and who women?
Anybody, any child or any woman who is in danger.
Now you're lying, because that's not how that works.
I wouldn't lie. Because that's even if it means that.
Okay, all right, but do you realize, hold up, do you realize that in order to be a protector, you require other people? What part of this identity can you just do on your own?
We develop our identity based on other people.
Tell me, what part of this identity can you do on your own?
Well, what did it say?
Because if you say a protector, you need somebody to be the protector for. What part of your identity can you do on your own without another person being involved?
I don't know.
You don't see that as a problem? You're adopting a persona. You can't do it on your own.
Yeah, and
if part of my identity is that I'm creative, I don't need somebody to be there to be a creative person. I just am creative.
Are you asking as an individual or as a man? Because because as an individual, I have a lot of things I can do alone.
I'm talking about your man persona, sir.
Then it's to protect. That's all I can say.
And protect you require other people.
What skills do you
Yeah.
need to be a protector? That's what I would like to know.
Can I touch on something quick? Can I touch on something quick? You said something that really stood out to me. You said as an individual or as a man.
You're right.
Oh, it was. This is the contradiction that men rationalize in their head that I always say needs to be studied. So he in essence, what he just did there, he's acknowledging that he's not an individual. And that's why he's always separating himself when he's explaining himself in this situation. It's not about him. He has to only talk about man, the system, fitting in, falling in, faking, like, trying to be accepted so bad. But at the same time, doesn't realize that for you to be a true quote unquote protector, you have to stand against that system because that system is what's being harmful to women and children. Man is who's being harmful against women and children. So the system that you took away your entire personality and who you are as an individual and as a person, that you gave it up to fit into the system, you're not going to stand against that system. So in essence, you are not going to protect women and children. All a performance.
You know what? I need to. Well, I don't know. It's really hard because I thought about it. I thought it was just protection, but you guys raised good points. So I'll try. I mean, yeah. It's good that maybe I should just focus on
And the
myself.
interesting part, and I'm gonna be that's thanks for pointing that out. But I'm gonna also explain to you what the problem with you calling yourself a protector. Based on the things you're saying, right? You talking about you don't want to be outcast, you want to be part of the group. It sounds like you need to be protected. It sounds like you're looking for protection, but yet you're calling yourself the protector. Because a true protector isn't going to basically conform to a group, just not
I
to be
mean,
outcast.
yeah. I mean, that's how.
Protectors go against the group.
I mean,
Protectors aren't going to participate in group think just for their own survival. That's not a protector. Hold up, because sir, you're not a protector. That's the problem. You just want to call yourself one. You're looking for protection.
I mean, yeah, I do look for protection. That's why I want to be in the communities.
Yeah, but then you're calling yourself a protector. That's the contradiction, and that's what women be calling out.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. You know what? Maybe, yeah, you guys are raising good points, like I said. So maybe I should just ponder on it for a while.
Well, here's the thing, right? I'll be straight up with you, right? You had a Y in the road right now, where you're being explained something about what it is you saying, right? And you realize now that it is a contradiction. It doesn't sound right. Like you are actually just the follower. You are just like a worker bee in this beehive, right? The beehive of men. So it's two roads you could go down. You can either understand where you went wrong and it's actually better to work on being a better person and not just try to fit into a system of man. Or you could be comfortable in that mediocrity and that stupidity and just find it comforting and safe and stay in it and be unhappy. So the choice is yours. But that's the choice that you have to make right now.
Like I said, I will ponder on it because I can't really. Because, like I said, you guys are raising good points, and the definition of man I was given, I don't even know. That's how I see. That's typically how I see as a man. And you guys are right to say that it is flawed.
I mean, I'm much older than you. I've had a long time to like figure out who I am, and that's something I'm still working on. It doesn't happen overnight, but um, and that's the problem. It's like too many people are just looking outward. We are a bunch of individual people with unique traits, and because the reason you said about this whole outcast thing, it's like no, I gotta fit in. I gotta be like I gotta be accepted by the group so bad, and that's what leads to depression. That leads to people taking substances, in extreme cases, taking their own life, hurting other people. It makes you a dangerous person because you're going to do whatever you got to do because your biggest fear is to be kicked out of the group. And that's why I said men have abandonment issues. It's why men are harmful in relationships because I need this woman. I need this woman to stick it out with me so I can be the ideal man. People need to see me. They need to see he protects his family, he provides for his family, he's the leader. So bad that behind the scenes, men are causing harm to women. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I was listening to y'all, but it's funny that you had us prompt because this morning I was watching a video of that obnoxious man, which one he may ask. One of them motherfuckers. But he was on a podcast and he was talking about how he a high value man. And the lady was like, well, how you a high value man? And he's like, well, I'm 6'4", and only 10% of people or 4% of people in the world are 6'4" or taller. And blah 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 blah. And I was thinking to myself, like, everything that he like, if you ask what makes me special, I'm gonna say special, not high value. But if you want to say high value, if you ask me what makes me high value in my eyes, right? Because my validation is the only validation that matters to me. And it's not gonna be things in comparison to other people. Like I'm dope shit on my own. Like, but every time these men talk about how high value they are, it's in comparison to other people. And let me tell you, it's not even in comparison to the people at the top. It's in comparison to the people at the bottom, which is fucking crazy to me. So you think that you high value, or you think that him, you think you that man, that nigga, because you better than the people at the bottom? Mm, it's giving mediocre. Cause why on earth, if I consider myself top tier, like hot shit, you know, that girl, would I compare myself to the people at the bottom doing the worst? That's not what top tier people do. So the whole mindset of a man who think he like hot shit is kind of skewed to me. And it's crazy that women, the emotional beings, the less logical beings, the people who's supposed to be protected for, provided for, right? The people who are inferior, right? The inferior being have a strong understanding of that. We know that, but y'all don't. And that's because y'all want to stay in the mediocre place. A lot of y'all only want to talk about being big shit, but y'all don't really want to do the work to do it. Y'all don't want to read the books. Y'all don't really want to go to the gym. Y'all don't want to heal. Y'all only want to pretend. And that's fake shit to me. Like, y'all men be faking it, big fakers. So,
But it's
yeah.
not just that. If your identity, if you being top shit is only having people at the bottom, then that's gonna be your biggest fear. That those people that you was able to elevate yourself over top of, that they gotta stay where they are. So now that's what makes you harmful. Cause you're not gonna help uplift other people. And you're going to attack those who trying to uplift themselves. So, like a lot of men who feel like, oh, I'm better than women because I'm a man. When y'all see women gain autonomy, when y'all see women doing for themselves, you attack because I need you to stay in this second position so I can stay in the first position. That's harmful.
Yeah, and that's why I say that I'm a real man because it could never be me. But like that could never be me. Um it like I said, it gives mediocre. Like I don't even compare like comparing yourself to somebody else and saying I'm better than this person. Mm, I don't know. It's not giving what y'all think it's giving. That contributes to the male loneliness epidemic because y'all don't understand that every time y'all open y'all mouth, it gives ick. And instead of like fixing it and being like, oh wow, I didn't know that it gave ick. What can I do to make it not give ick? And listening to what women are saying, which is quite logical. Like what I said right now, what Tara said right now, what Dex has been saying, it makes perfect sense. But your ego is keeping you from recognizing it. Because your ego wants to keep you in a harmful place. It wants to keep you in a in the bottom tier of people. Um, and that's problematic too. So I mean, but it ain't my problem, right? So that's why I don't give a fuck. I just can't be associated with men like that because my mindset is that of growth. And no amount of naked in the world will make me be in community and relationship with men who think like that.
But I don't think people form relationship just because you, what's it called again? You have these quote unquote manly traits. I people fall into relationship because they have common interests. What's it called again? Things that they share in common.
But
So I don't
sweetheart,
know.
that's that's immaturity. I'm not forming a relationship on shit I have common traits with. If I search hard enough, if I meet you in person, I can find some common traits within us. So what? Now we supposed to be in a relationship because
Not
we
common
both
traits.
like we both
Common
like
interests.
anime. Okay, common interest. Now we supposed to be in a relationship because we both like to run on the weekends, hike, and we enjoy going to anime conventions.
I mean,
Like, okay, that's
like
not what relationships should.
if you
It
don't have,
listen to what I'm saying. You can find a common interest with anyone, literally anyone. There's someone standing next to me right now who probably we don't speak the same language, but if we sat down and were able to communicate with each other, we can find a common interest. I can find common interest with somebody in fucking Spain right now from fucking Marrakesh. Like it doesn't matter. You can find a common interest with human beings. We all are going to cross paths with interest. That's not what's going to keep a relationship. If we have a common interest, but you're a self-destructive person and I am not, inevitably the relationship will fail. Because I'm on a path of growth, I'm on a path of bettering myself, enlightenment, and you are not. But we both like the Dodgers. Whoopty fucking do.
oh yeah, yeah. So that's true. Traits. If you don't like, if you dislike a few traits or the traits of the person you want to, or the person, you wouldn't really fall into. You wouldn't really be in a relationship with them. And if you do like some of their traits, you probably will.
Hey, Paula.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing today?
Yeah, what's going on?
Nothing. I was listening to him, and I hope you can just take that info and just sit with it for a little bit because everybody's doing that. I'm on team this, and like you said, it's causing harm to other people to be on team this and that, and it's also causing harm to themselves. Once somebody uses something as a control, I tend to just want to throw the whole damn thing in the garbage, even though I shouldn't. So once I see a group saying, I want to control this, I control that, and you're trying to include people who never asked to even be in that position, I don't see anything wrong with them just pitching all in garbage because now to me it's garbage. People that don't want to be involved in this man versus woman thing, men do the man did the man control. Some of us never asked to be in this. And a lot of us women don't benefit from it all the way, so we just would like it to be in the garbage. But that's going to be up to you guys because I keep seeing this and I look at the historical info and I can see where it fits in historically. This whole thing that y'all propping up as the manhood, masculinity, whatever, they've been using that to control y'all for the longest. And it just doesn't serve y'all anymore like you think it does. It doesn't. It doesn't. And people that want relationships, well, guess what? Let's start with that man woman thing. Yeah, people that want relationships with people, they actually have to like the group that the person's in for that to even be able to take off. It's not going to be good enough to say, I like this one, but I don't like the other one. No, no, that doesn't work for that. No. So we need a lot of you guys, or we would like a lot of you guys to deconstruct from that thing so that you guys can get your stable footing and remain stable within society without crashing out over something that doesn't benefit the majority of us at this point. And I'm going to say if that makes sense because I want to tie that sentence up with that, land that plane.
But the only thing about that I would say is, again, the traits that they picking up is narcissism. And when we just be like, well, it don't benefit us, like that's not enough, apparently, because even when Merchant was talking about it, he's talking about his own self-preservation. So it's like they only appeal to like what can harm them. It's like they have only empathy for like themselves, which is a problem also. Because
That is a problem.
yeah, so it's never going to be, oh, I don't want to harm women because they're not real
Yeah.
protectors, right? They're never
Yeah,
going to be like, oh, I don't want to harm women, so I'm going to do better. No, it got to be something tied to just them that, like, oh, well, I don't want to miss out in this. And that's the selfishness of it all.
and I'm gonna say this about that whole thing with that narcissism has been propped up. Those are the people that seem to be getting the most out of everybody everywhere I look. So I will say this: you have narcissism, you have narcissistic traits, what have you. I want men to be very, very keenly aware that since it works so well for you guys, that yeah, more than likely women are going to use those same things because why not? Why not? It works for y'all. Why can't we just be self-centered? And no matter if it looks like narc, because I've heard that term and I think people, at first it was offensive. I found it to be offensive. But then when I really deconstructed what it was like, nah, that's just somebody trying to, again, pull me out of something or control me by thinking that I think that's the worst in the world. No, I will adopt the narc traits if it means saving me because I can't be in a group of people that only want to save themselves and they want to use me themselves. No, that when you see
The
what
thing about it, Miss Paula,
guys, and then also looking self-centered, that could be that. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you
no,
good.
you fine. I cut you off. I
No,
was just gonna say the thing about it, Miss Paula, is that all humans are narcissistic. it exists like almost everything in this life on a spectrum. And the emptier, the less self identity you have, right? Um, because our who we are and how we treat other people is ultimately rooted in how we identify with ourselves. The more identity we have collected with ourselves, right? That's why having hobbies, finding a community and people you love and enjoy, finding value in friendship and in family and in things that exist outside of like superficiality, right? That grounds you in your identity. Like if you enjoy taking walks and like on Sundays I like taking walks, like, and that's me. So if I don't have a person with me, if I don't have anybody else in the world, I know that part of my identity is going to take a walk on Sunday or spending time with my kids and my grandkids and I like coloring every now and then and I like doing this and doing that. The more you have um a self identity, the better you are to other people because you don't have to use them in order to form a sense of self. You already have developed a positive sense of self. You're not exploiting people or harming people in order to develop like a false sense of self. Therefore, on the further end of the spectrum of narcissism is NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. And people may think like, oh, people with NPD, people with narcissistic personality disorder, they're obsessed with themselves. They have to have a sense of self. Wrong. The further you are on that spectrum, the closer you are to NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, the less positive sense of self you have. You have no sense of self. You didn't develop one. So you are on a constant mission to extract, destroy, and exploit others in order to try to gain a sense of self. And it's destructive behavior. It's not, it's not advantageous, that's my favorite word, to you or to other people. You cannot form community or authentic bonds with other people. Because if I know that on Sundays I like to ride bikes and that brings me joy, that brings me happiness without anyone, and then I meet Tara and Tara like to do it too, we can form like a sense of community that exists within ourselves and now we share with each other. And that's just an example, and it's a natural, it's an authentic community. I
Hey,
land.
Megan.
Okay. So let me ask you this then, because I'm gonna pose this question for young men out there to listen to. So, with that being said, is it safe to assume that men that are, whether they're narcissistic or not, men that are asking women to form their lives around what they want, as opposed to that woman just being herself and also just doing the things that she likes to do, they want her to wrap around what the things they like and so forth. Could that also leave them open to being used by true narcissists?
No, they are the true narcissist because my identity, my identity and like what I like to do shouldn't need to be validated by another human being. So me
Mm-hmm.
liking to ride bikes, that don't have to be validated by another. Like if Mia come up and I like to ride bikes and she like, you a stupid bitch because you like riding bikes. It's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna bother me because like that's my identity. I'm not gonna need Mia to validate that. Like
Okay.
men who need women or other men to validate who they are, they're dangerous men because you will do anything to get that validation, and it oftentimes do anything looks like manipulation and exploitation.
Okay. So now I'm gonna flip it again because I want the men to really focus in. So the women that will do anything for validation are the true narcs. The women that need you to validate themselves, they are the true narcs. The women that will formulate themselves around your life, because they need you to validate them, those are the true narcs. And I'm putting that out there for the men. So when you're calling for women to do that and you're angry at the women that don't do it, but then you're calling for women to do that and you get the women that need you to validate them, those are probably the true narcs.
Hey, Drika.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Um, I came in late, so I'm not sure what y'all was talking about, but I'm sure y'all in here cooking. So God bless y'all for that. But yeah, I agree with the prompt. I think that I honestly think that the way society is structured um was based on men being insecure but having access to resources or the ability to take resources. And that's why society is constructed in the way that it is, so that men can feel outside validation. Relationships are about men needing women to need them, children need to need them. They have to feel like society needs them to survive. They have to have their friends validate their manhood for it to be real. They do things to validate it outwardly. The hive mentality is perfect proof of that. So yeah, and that's all based on insecurity. The over explaining and trying to prove that you're a good guy is based on your insecurities, being able or feeling like you have to brag about deplorable behaviors with other men to get validation about your manhood, but then flipping around and trying to extort empathy and compassion from women and those who you might think is more vulnerable or more or who you think you can manipulate more into making you feel like you're just a wounded soul that just needs a little love and you will be a good boy. It's all based in insecurity. It's a weird thing that happens. So yeah, I agree. Insecurity is the biggest thing. That's why men cheat at the rates that they do, no matter what. In an opportunistic way, meaning no reason has to be had. It's just like if it's there, if a piece of coochie or booty, because we know now we know, fall into your lap, you gotta take it no matter what, no matter if it smell good, bad, no matter what it look like, you just gotta take it. So that's all insecurity. You don't care about yourself. I'm telling the truth. I went lie on a Sunday. Sunday, maybe
Yeah.
Monday.
Damn. Let me go drink some water. Hold up.
You miss your friend acting up. You fell asleep on your friend acting a plum fucking fool last night.
Damn.
She was up there acting the fuck up. She was showing her little pick me ass.
I'm gonna have to watch it back, but I believe it.
I was like, lady, please.
Who's
She,
that, man? Who was that?
oh, Hattie Mae, she was acting up. Hattie Mae, she couldn't stop herself from blaming women for every fucking thing on her.
Did we ever figure out where Drika went at yesterday? Like, did anybody ever?
Drinker fell asleep.
Oh, okay, Drika was knocked out. I didn't forget.
I was not in another live, nothing like that. I was
I,
asleep.
See, I
I
know
believe
my
you this
baby. I
time.
didn't even validate. I didn't even need, she didn't even need to tell me. I said, oh, look at my little angel up there. She fell asleep.
Nah, I be making assumptions. I caught her before.
I was just a sleeping beauty, and y'all, and you talking about I was doing something else. Mm-mm.
I
I'm
mean, you sound like the boy you cried wolf at this point, but all right, okay.
believe you. You don't need validation from nobody but me.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. I knew you would believe me. I appreciate that. Because I'm sitting here burnt to a crisp. And y'all talking about gaslighting? Y'all need to chill out. Again, another day with y'all accusing me. I'm going to go on a 50-minute rant. Where you going? Who did...
Yeah, that's all I had to say about this one.
Ma'am, how you gonna start the topic and now is all that's all I have to say about this.
Man, hold up. I've been here for 2.5 hours. What you talking about? I've been here 2.5 hours talking about this shit.
Life should run on a minimum of 4 to 6 hours.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Be 8. You heard me 8. And she's talking about upload it. Upload it. You gotta wait. It's gonna take
Hey,
8 hours.
that's not all she had. It ain't enough ox in this motherfucker, y'all.
No, I was making the points earlier. The guy came and made a great example though, because he basically was saying he learned how to be a man from his daddy. He learned it from the media, proving the point in real time. So like, at least he was honest about that. But I mean, this excuse me. I had started the conversation saying I think it's important for women to know that these women have insecurity, because it takes me back to that live we was on with all the pick-me's, and essentially this idea that, oh, you got to do this to get a man, and you got to change this about yourself with a man. Like, these niggas is insecure. So if he insecure and he got this fake persona, he wearing a mask, and then you performing all this shit to help him, like, hold up his mask to the world, you gonna be fucked up, and nobody should be doing that. And I don't know, just seeing women give that advice was crazy.
Can I just say this now that we at the end of the live though? I want to say this too. Black women are insecure as well.
That's true.
Um, and and the problem with us being insecure is not that we are insecure, right? Or like we're more insecure than them, but we can be because of what Tara just said. Because if you insecure and you don't have a sense of self-identity, and an insecure man come along and have you tap dancing, not only to affirm his identity, but to form an identity that he gives you, you know what kind of whirlwind of shit you gonna be in mentally as a woman? Because now you already came in with insecurities and not an identity of who you are. But then this man got you like performing tricks and doing backflips to affirm his identity when you don't have a grounded sense of self. And he's telling you who you are as a woman. And you constantly like twisting yourself into a pretzel doing Pilates and yoga to fit in this idea of womanhood that he's feeding you, and that shit is shifting because he getting that shit from the TV or from his homeboy or from what social media is feeding him, because he don't know who the fuck he is as a person either. It's important as Black women that we develop a sense of self outside of other women, outside of media, outside of what anybody tells us that we are. And that'll slow down on the competitiveness with each other, on the constant need of attacking each other, and on the constant need of validation from other women and men or our family. Like you will be rooted in who you are as a woman.
No, that's definitely true. Um, that's definitely true. Like, it's like you have to like figure out who you are, and I think it's different for in the ways that it's different for Black women is like we don't get to be that, like, you gotta really perform to be seen as like the tip, like a woman. Like, your womanhood is so conditional in this society, it's crazy. So it's so important that we define what that is for ourselves. Cause motherfuckers gonna tell you need to. The fact that it's grown women on here on this damn app on the internet telling other women that, oh, I got a class, I could teach you how to act like a lady is fucking crazy. I don't need a class on how to act. What the fuck is you talking about? That shit is crazy.
You don't. Nobody needs that class. I don't even know which lady he was talking about, but
It's
I
no,
know
it's
exactly.
multiple of them. That's the thing. It's a lot of them.
Yeah,
They call
there's
them
a
etiquette
thing.
schools and all that shit. Like,
It's look, etiquette school ain't nothing but a fancy or water. That's not my background. They ain't nothing but a fancy or watered down version of what I had to study, which was what I studied called hyperfemininity. And hyperfemininity within the black culture is, for some women, unfortunately it is a form of protection depending on who their circle is.
Hey,
But like,
but
oh, go
just
ahead,
wanted
Des.
to, yeah, because I finally got to my birthday. I'm going to one of my best friend's birthday party, but uh, sorry for being MIA. It was a crazy, like, past 2 to 3 weeks with work, but I have a couple of days off here, so I'll be on tomorrow. From
normally
tomorrow
I
till
be like, normally I'm gonna be like, it's no big deal. But after the shit we went through with Chanel, normally I'm gonna be like, it's no big deal. But after the shit we went through with Chanel, yeah, make sure y'all checking in. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. You gotta
yeah,
say
yeah,
something real time to people.
true, true. Nope, you're right.
But no, you are Dex.
Yeah, but miss you guys. Going to relax because I only got like about 2 hours sleep in the past like 3 days.
That's crazy. Why you up here? Go to bed.
And now I have to go to a party now, that birthday party. So I'll get some sleep later, and then I'll check you guys tomorrow.
All
All
right,
All
right.
right,
all right,
talk
Dad.
to you guys later.
All right.
All right.
But I I wanted to say, no double O. I I am and too much on us, right? Because we the only ones who here for each other. And women can be harmful to other women too. Whether it be pygmy women or other feminist women. Because I don't want it to be missed upon y'all. A lot of y'all feminist heroes on this platform are here seeking validation for themselves because they're empty inside. So they found a niche of women who are about women empowerment, and now you they power source of validation. And when you don't perform feminism correctly or the way that they want you to perform feminism, it's gonna be a problem. So yeah, too much on us as Black women, because our identity has been destroyed. Our identity has been picked out. We're a constant punching bag for society and media, and that can leave you feeling empty inside. Like my life yesterday, it can cause you to form dissociation, where you just like, fuck it, I'm gonna latch on to anything to feel happy. And sometimes, it's good at first, right? It's good. We in a group of women empowerment. And then 6, 7, 8 months down the line, they got you drinking the Kool-Aid. Then where you at? Because you done got some great feelings and validation in the past, and now they got you chasing that validation that they gave you in the first place.
Yep.
And yeah,
That's why I don't get in groups. I don't get in groups, y'all. That's why I don't. Only because it's especially on this app and off this app in certain groups, it seems as though you have people that are vying for power, be it men or women, and once they get the key to how to get some of the power, then they want it all, and then they're extracting it off of everybody, and they want other people to join in, and now everybody just look like they power tripping, and it becomes an issue. People can't handle power, but they seem to want power, and they don't distribute it evenly, and they don't. It just doesn't seem to work out well. It just doesn't, and that's to me. That's what that sounds like.
No, you gotta keep you're definitely right. We gotta keep that hierarchy, that shit in check. That with that bullshit.
Mm-mm-mm. I agree.
which I guess goes with the term drunk with power. You got some people who know that they'll get the power, they know exactly what they'll do with it, but then you have some people that just kind of happen upon it or get near it, and then all of a sudden they just going haywire because they have no good thing to do with it. But the person at the top has some kind of ulterior bad thing to do with it. And I just wonder sometimes, when do the good people get power and do the good things with it? That
Yeah,
that would be nice.
because I'm gonna say it before and I said it again. A lot of people on here, a lot of women on here was okay with following behind Mr. Jones because somebody else said that it was okay to follow behind Mr. Jones. When the person who was following behind Mr. Jones or friends with Mr. Jones, that motherfucker destructed too. Because
Mm.
you advocate for women and you get money for women from women and you ain't giving that shit back in no way possible, shape, or form. You just feeding capitalism, right, Mr. Anti-Capitalist? Y'all gotta wake the fuck up. But you love the way it sounds when these men are fighting for other men, fighting other men on behalf of womanhood. That should make you feel good as a woman, cause ain't nobody ever did that shit for you. So you see a nigga online for women, and it gets you a little wet. Get a fan, sis. Get a rag. Pipe down. You don't need a man to advocate for women. Advocate for your damn self, especially if you don't see the wool that's been put over your eyes. This motherfucker collecting money for women and ain't giving back. Yet the red pill man collecting money and giving back to children. And I ain't saying them niggas good either. But why the fuck is it that y'all top tier favorite creator, public, making 20,000 a month and ain't giving shit back to women? He like, no, I'm about to buy my son a 10-year-old a Louis Vuitton duffel bag. Get the fuck out my face.
I'm gonna be honest with you about the public thing. Before public was big, right? Because I tell a lot of people I'm gonna remember them 2 a.m. in the morning things that I heard people say on panels when they didn't think about it, was listening. There were, I'm gonna say, a good four creators that blew up, that I knew would blow up. Two I thought would blow up and he didn't. Public was one that I thought would blow up and he did. But a lot of times, what I viewed public's thing as was, I'm doing this for me, my family, my son, which is a me, me, me thing, right? But as it has progressed and I see how this is going, now I can see the other problematic part, because like you said, you need to be giving back to the people that you're pulling from, not just you and your family. And I'm disappointed that he didn't do something else with it, because I really did see where he was going to blow up. But again, in the
But
beginning,
why did you think he would?
because he had the thing, back then when I got on here, I was looking for answers for some other stuff, but I started studying algorithms when I first got on here about 2 3 years ago. And in looking at the algorithms, looking at people's presentations, everything from the way they speak to their backgrounds to the information that they brought forth and how they did it and the circles that they were running in. He was one of the few people that I had a sense would blow up and have a platform, only because of the way he was presenting things, the aspect he was going at from the beginning, the way he was able to quickly assimilate his background, his speaking style, and some other things. Right, there's some things that public can't hide, but there were some other things he was able to mask, and that told me that he, out of all the other creators, because I was on, you gotta remember, I was just at home and on here buku hours of the day with basically nothing else to do. He was going to be the one of the ones that blew up. And back then, I used to just, if people asked me, I used to just tell them back then, well, yeah, I think this is what, your platform. and things like that. But I just saw that it would blow up.
I
But
hear that.
that
Okay,
doesn't
go ahead.
mean that doesn't mean that I was able to see what it would take to do that. And I also saw people get with groups and implode upon each other. And people group with things and they started running it like the mafia. So, he did have to break out. He got out. And for the things that I'm not gonna mention that he did say early on and whatever, and personally, for personal life, that's a success. But it needed to benefit the people that you pull from. That's the part people always forget. It's more than your personal life. It's more than what you have surpassed in your personal life. It's more that you might have survived this never. It's even more than that. It's more than your autistic child. It's more than the fact that you're probably autistic too. But you work out. You know, it is you have to give back to the people that you draw from. And
That's
that's
my
the part
question.
that doesn't
That's
happen.
my question.
No,
That was the question. Why did you think he would give that? And why did you assume that? Oh, because you say you thought he would blow up. But why did
because
you
a
think he would
lot
ever give back?
the give back part is the part that I have began to realize within the past 1 or 2 years. Because what use is you just making all of this off of these people? Because in my mind, he's providing a service. If people want to pay for that service, then that's fine. But what good is that if you're not giving back to people? If you're not going to give back to help? If you're talking community and you don't give back to the community, then what good is it? That means it's just all you. People that go out and provide a service for just them, that's one thing. But people that go out and provide a service and they claim that it's for the community, then no, you have to give it back to the community that you draw from.
Yeah.
Now,
So
again,
my
when he
thing is like,
started,
I'm just
when
the thing I was
because
saying is like
in the
he
beginning, he
never.
was the same community.
Hold up. But what I'm saying is, not. It's not. I never thought he would get that. He been taking. Like he literally like his Discord. Like he's been extracting labor. That's why I'm confused on the whole get back
That
thing.
part, okay,
So
that's
why would
that
you think
part.
somebody who's extracting labor? Because it's not just people who listen to his message. He's extracting free labor. Why would you think
Because
somebody like that would ever give back?
let me tell you why. Because
Like that
back
case is
then,
crazy.
way back then, before he blew up, right? A lot of people were going around and they were just doing stuff for other people, right? That was starting people up. Now, later on, some people do compensate folks for things. With him, that part I was never going to see anyway. All I saw is what he presented as, and then as it went on later. But as it's gone on within the past 2 years, yeah, I think it is mandatory that people give back and don't draw the free labor. Because if you're just starting out and people are saying, well, you know what, I'm gonna help you do this, blah blah blah. That's one thing, right? But when you have blown up, have stayed blown for consistently, or you might be getting bigger, right? You're supposed to be giving back to the people that helped. So that comes later down the line when you see that.
No,
A
but
lot of
I
people,
get what you're saying. All I'm saying is it's interesting when I hear you say, eventually that will happen. Like he literally been extracting labor.
I
I
knew
see
it
the
would
ducks.
blew up.
But
I
hold up,
didn't know it was gonna
I
blow
wanna
up.
address that too because you're saying the way
Okay.
he's speaking everything. You knew he would blow up because
Yes.
it sounded like personality traits. But you also just spoke on narcissism, and one of the things we learn about narcissists is that they're very charming people. That's part of the allure.
That's part of the allure, but I don't find public to be charming. I find public to be masking.
To be
And
what?
because of to be masking, okay, coming from where I'm coming from, a lot of us we mask. And that's what I saw public as doing. But what I do realize is that even those of us who are on the spectrum and we mask, you can be you can be a narcissist. It does not exclude us from being a narcissist. But back then, that's not how I was looking at that. Back then, I was looking at it. Oh, look, he's breaking through. Da da. Because you can look at public, you still gonna see that it's not. It's something different about it. When you look at public, you can just look at public and you're gonna be like, he can charm whatever out the window. No, that to me is masking. That's what he's doing. And he's masking well, but I can still see it. And I think a lot of people that have to go through this, they see it because there's social things. There are times when I can see when public stumbles in things that I know that mask wasn't prepared for. But narcissists also mask. You can both can be true. You can be that person on the spectrum and also become or be a narcissist. But for a lot of us, we don't know until we see the end result. And this is the end result. He's stealing labor. He's not giving back. It's me. So yeah, that would be the narcissism. We only hope sometimes that people don't do that. But what I see now is that a lot of times, especially on this app, that's how it goes. Because what I also have to realize is that people that really do have good intentions, they're paying it back and paying it forward from the beginning. They don't have to wait till they blow up to do that. And that more or less was a learning process.
I know we in the middle of a serious
I know I'm
conversation.
what's happening, Sadie?
Let me tell. I'm just walking, talking to y'all. This duck ran up on me, y'all. I ain't never heard a duck hiss in my life, and he was chasing me. He was like, "Bag back, bitch!" Like he was chasing me, and I took off running, y'all. I almost fell because the duck was chasing me. And I'm like, why is the duck chasing me? Because I always see the ducks here. Well, it's a nest of baby ducks. So the mama ducks, like, so what's a male duck? I don't know. Is it a goose? No, that's goose. Anyway, the moms, because I saw the female ducks all the way on the other side, and they was cool. They was chilling by themselves. And I guess the men are so like I walked too close to them, and that motherfucker chased me. He hissed and everything.
It hissed at you.
Yes, the duck hissed. He was like,
Yeah, you better get the fuck out of there.
"I did, girl." That he didn't listen, sir. You don't got to tell me twice. I get it. I'm
That
too
duck
close
don't
to
give a
your
fuck about your
kids. Yeah, I was too close to his kids. He said, "Oh, I just heard one quacking, and I almost took off running, y'all." But he was flying by. He said, "Bitch, you too close to our kids. Back up." I get it. I don't want no smoke.
Not the duck out there being a protector. That's crazy.
Listen, um, but to bring, yes, I was running. That was scary, y'all. But to bring,
Yeah, a
to
duck
bring
is
it back,
sounds scary.
yeah, girl, well, he was gonna peck me or like bite me. And I heard jackrabbits be eating people too. Not people, but like cows and shit. If a jackrabbit can eat a cow, a jackrabbit can eat a human. I'm just telling y'all that. I ain't know these animals was like built like that. I'm gonna be honest. I thought rabbits was cute and fluffy. Um, but I am she asked, what is he masking as? Um, and you said masking as what? Normal, intelligent. If that's what you think, if that's what you think, normal and intelligent, you
No,
think that he masking at that as that he's masking as a feminist
no,
because
he's
I'm
masking
about
as
to
a
keep
feminist,
explaining
but there's
to
something else that's also.
y'all. Go ahead, Miss Paula.
No, I wasn't going to go too deep in on it. There's masks for different things, but there are also masks for people that just simply would not fit anywhere if they did not put those masks on. It's going to be a lot of social things, a lot of social interaction. It's going to be a lot of words that should be said in this place or that place, but not in this place, that place. It's going to be a lot of behaviors. Usually it's a lot of these socially awkward people. Some of them can mask well as people who are social, but then some cannot. And so they just remain on the outskirts and the fringes of
But
everybody else.
Miss Paula, we not gonna act like we, and I'm talking to I am she. We not gonna act like we ain't seen the videos that me and Drika both have on our page and Tara have on our page too. We not gonna act like we didn't see the receipts. That's what we gonna do today. Of him calling me a liar and then blatantly contradicting himself. Or how about him calling a black woman ghetto? Oh, you believe him over a woman. I got it.
That means
I got it.
no, it's not that I
No,
believe him
no,
over a
no.
woman. I'm going back to what
No, I'm
I
not
was
talking to
presented
you.
early
No,
on.
Miss Paula, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm saying, because I'm sure, I don't know if you have seen the videos, but I know she was there when all this stuff was happening. Let's believe black women, though. Um, yeah, yeah, the videos of public saying that I'm crazy, calling me crazy, saying that I'm mentally ill. That's y'all king, but I ain't gonna. I don't know. I could have swore I seen you go on the live with Yellow Chicken and saying that you was upset that all of this was happening and Lux and Villain and all of them. But maybe I'm tripping. I'm thinking I am she is her.
Wait, what? I stepped away. Did I miss something? Terry, you just said something?
No, I ain't said nothing. Lynn was talking to her about public.
Okay.
Also,
Oh, that's a different I am she. It's a I am she is her too. No, we got video on our page. But yeah, I thought you was a different person. My fault.
Oh, and I'm gonna post some videos later on today on my other backup page, but um it's some bullshit though. I think and I kind of cuz I want to have that conversation and Tara, I know if you tired, we can move to mine and have it, but Lynn, you had said
That's what we was gonna do.
no, you didn't, because I don't
Yeah.
even go live this early. But I'm gonna go live this early. Then I'm gonna go live. I might have church later, but if I could think of something. But um, Lynn had said something yesterday, which like I done thought about that a lot of times too, especially in what I do every day. But and me and you talked about this too, Sarah. But when I think about like the DDG, whatever the nigga name is, and the Halle Berry situation, when Lynn said like they'll defend a monster, I forgot how you said it, but the way I put it in my brain was they'll like men will defend monsters to save the male's image, and we see that in a lot of sneaky ways too. I think that's why with Public in his initial response to the allegations of Mr. Jones, he was so quick to defend,
And Alabama.
yeah,
Why he came in.
in Alabama, but the reason why I think the reason why he transitioned into the way he moved with Alabama and with Mr. Jones is the resentment he felt towards the women who didn't believe his grift and how outwardly they were in opposition to him. Um, And the thing that I think about constantly is like, I believe that Wireless clocked very early on, but she didn't think that she needed to like write down dates and times and all of that. I think that she was just like, look, I saw it, I'm not gonna fool with him, and I ain't gonna worry about it. But when people, as he got more popular, and people and other women started doing what we do, which is like flocking to these men, like validating them, like, and it could be that insecurity you was talking about, whatever it is, because we're not used to it, the wetness, the cleaning up, get a rag, whatever, however you want to put it, all that could be true. I think that also was irritating to some of the women who clocked him early on, and when they were willing to say that without feeling like they had to have any proof or any like timeline. It was like simple, like he's obviously lying, like it's obvious, it ain't even that deep, it's obvious. And I think that he noticed that was bold, and how dare you challenge me, like who the fuck you think you is, because it was like, who are you to challenge me? Like, what you mean you don't believe my grit? So once he experienced that, I think that it was easy for him to defend these men with what seemed like little information, because it also validated his fight against the people who was accusing him of things. So I think that is what played into him running to Jones and Alabama's defense, because it was like he was defending himself in a lot of ways. And that's how a lot of men think. The defense is for them, because even if they aren't doing it now, they done did it, or they will do it. So when it seems like there's not that much evidence put out there, or if it's semantics, or if it's like something that you can kind of like, it could be argued, that's what the men gonna do. And what I mean by that is the same thing with what happened with DDG. Like, there is evidence, but because it's not enough evidence, or it don't seem like it's enough evidence, the men are gonna argue it down. In the same way that they do with P. Diddy, even though we've seen the Cassie video, even though there's been certain proof, they're going to argue down semantics wherever they can. So I don't know. I think that men are so willing to protect the image of men, because they because they want to be protected in the now or in the future. And I think it's just that simple. Yeah, it was an opportunity, because Mr. Jones was getting big, and I also think he thought, like, I think that he believes that Jeff could get big too. Jeff is a YT man who is speaking on a hot topic. He also wanted proximity to Jeff. Mr. Jones is a YT man too. Like, I don't care what nobody says. Like, what are we talking about? So he wanted the opportunity.
Yeah, they all think about it. They all cornered a section of something. Jones was the political, he was the feminist, and fucking Alabama was deconstructing racism. Kiss my ass,
It was
actually.
like the Power
Lick,
Rangers.
lick the hole.
Ew. Not for the whole, but for their tongue. I'm telling where it's been. It's been in each other's ass. I think not. But
Don't forget about Shannon.
oh yeah, Shannon, he trying to ease on somewhere else
He
though.
picking up scrap.
But Shannon trying to get away. Shannon trying to
Yeah.
disassociate. Not he's trying to disassociate.
He wasn't trying to disassociate that time I
From
went up
who?
there.
No, that was before the Unfuck America tour. Because we got to be clear, even with the lane that Shannon is in, when it comes to the power structure of YT-ness, it's gonna win every time. The only reason why Public made that hostage video, because it was made to do it, was because of the YT men, Parker and Dean, who was saying something, who was clocking it, talking fast. Them some fast talking motherfuckers. They be talking speed be on 1,000. But when they got
You
up
can't
there,
trust no fast talking white tea man.
no, when they got to talking fast about Mr. Jones being a problem and the woman that he was associated with and defending, and I wouldn't have defended her, and everybody like, damn, the YT men wouldn't defend her, but Jones is. Man, Public ain't had no choice. He got out of there quick. He said, oh, because it ain't about the YT woman. You can't fuck with a YT man on public watch. Are you crazy? Jones done pissed the YT men off? Hell no. He ain't going for that. He ain't going for it. He ain't going for it. You could be light. You could be a YT woman. But if you a YT man and you've been harmed or you've been offended, public gonna stand on business. And that's exactly what happened. Don't miss it. Public gonna stand on business for YT men. If them YT men would have never said nothing, Public would still be going live every day. But now he can't. And I think that says a lot. Including with the Alabama thing. That's the answer. Not on his watch. Hell no. Public said the Vader Zane. What's the Vader Zane? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I never heard of that either. I'm saying like, what the hell are you talking about?
I don't know what that is. Nothing new happened. We just found the live where he was defending Jones.
Not the hotline.
Are you a YT that has been offended? Call when it. Terry is funny.
No, I cannot call the hotline. I'm a black woman that has been offended by him in protection of a Wahite man.
They gotta be 1-800 something else because it won't be 1-800-PUB. You can't call PUB. Somebody said Public stop messing with him because of his allegations against women. No, Mr. Jones came on his own Public panel crying about the allegations. These same allegations that are being made now. He's crying.
January 19th. On January 19th, 2025. Oh, January 18th, 2025.
And he defended him with his whole chest and all. And now when this came up again, now all of a sudden he believes the women, but these all the same women. It's all the same women that it was before.
But don't forget, he said he was manipulated. He a victim too.
Because what we know that men weaponize their, like, all of a sudden they will bring up their victimhood to shut you up. Black men are notorious for doing that. So it's ironic that he's talking about he's a victim. And that's why I'm saying, like, the situation with Halle Bailey, the way that DDG did it was he played the age old game of, I'm a father who just want to see my child, and this mean old woman is keeping me away from my child. She's like not wanting me to see my child. That's to get empathy. And if there's this narrative that black men can't be fathers, that's what he played on. If there's this narrative that black men can't be vulnerable about their victimhood by other men, him playing on him being a vulnerable victim of a man is what he playing on. Like, the shit is all the same. Like, that's why it's like, whether it's a red pill or these fake male feminists, like, when you start really pulling back the layers, like, we be getting played. And don't get it twisted. I have constantly fell for the bullshit. Like, I constantly fall for the bullshit. Like, I'm not above it today. I could fall for some bullshit right now. But I think the more we talk about it and the more we, like, are honest about it, and we start, as black women specifically, start to be like, look, it's a game, it's a game, it's a game. It's gonna take us a long time. They say it takes 7 times. It might take us, that might be 700 years. I don't fucking know. But it's gonna take us a while to recognize the game and the subterfuge that these men are constantly operating in. With us, they like we are conditioned to believe and think that we're supposed to be nurturing people into health even when we're wounded. So that's a lot of it. And then when Tara, when you talk about it's not fair to us to lose our humanity, so we're in a catch-22. You don't want to lose your humanity because that's important. That is a beautiful thing to have, especially when you're dealing with motherfuckers who don't have any humanity. So you don't want to lose your humanity, so that means that you're constantly at risk of being in situations where you're being manipulated by these men, whether it's virtually or in person. It could be family, it could be a person you work with, it could be a random person that you run into at the store. Women are constantly in these situations. So the only thing we can do is say it every time, clock it and say it every time we get the chance to. Say it, like reprogram your brain every chance you get. Like it's like doing Kegels. When you think about them, I bet some of y'all started doing them right now. It's like that. You got to do that. Like every time somebody say Kegel, you start doing it. Every time somebody say there's a motherfucking man on the internet crying, talking about, woe is me. Start telling your brain, is he
User, we don't know you. You're not even a real person talking about sorry, I'm behind. We don't know you. Reveal
Not
yourself,
user.
user. Right. Not per user 99165678910 678 Q04. We don't know you. Talking about sorry, y'all. I'm late. Who are you? Who are you?
And wait, Leon said they in the lab cooking up the next chapter. they prepare right now. Right now. Trying to figure something out.
Come on up and introduce yourself, user.
Yeah, if you want any information out of me, okay, well, I don't know who you are. I ain't about to respond to what happened from a person that I don't know. Person, we don't know you. You think we're about to go over the history of what happened to us to user 59786504, and you want me to share something that happened to me, something that was detrimental to me, to a person who won't even share their real identity with me? That's crazy work. A fair exchange ain't no robbery, user.
Now, user, you want to go find it. Go on his YouTube and search that motherfucker. Search it. Find it. If we say January 18th, use your fingers. Count back some months. And go search his YouTube. Good luck. You'll find out all you need to know.
He did. You gotta sit in the comments, user, and just listen to us. You'll gather bits and pieces. But we, like Sag said, who said that? Yeah, Sag. We ain't going back to season one, baby. We lived season one. We already survived pub. We on surviving pub part season 8. Shit, fuck y'all talk about. We was victims. Not really. I wasn't a victim. But God damn it.
Now, if he could be a victim of Jones and that was his best buddy, then we could be a victim of him. The fuck is going on?
Yeah, I was for surely victimized by him. He said I was crazy and hysterical. For for a feminist man to not know how serious it is to call a woman crazy and hysterical is diabolical. That lets me know that you're not doing the work that you say you doing. You a lying motherfucker. You a lying bastard at that. And then like for a feminist man to deny any sort of essay allegations. So let's put the rap sheet up, right? We're gonna put the rap sheet up. A feminist man didn't believe a black woman, right? But he support black women. He loved black women. You got it. A feminist man groomed his wife, but he a feminist man. You got it. A feminist man didn't believe a bunch of women when it came to manipulation and essay allegations about another man, but you got it. A feminist man didn't call a woman crazy and delirious for clocking some problematic shit of what Tay man was doing. But y'all got it. That's y'all king. What that man on whatchamacallit say on Black Panther? Is this y'all king? Is this y'all king? Y'all got it though. Y'all got it.
They love them.
Yeah. A feminist man told a woman that if she goes live about him, nobody's going to believe her. You're only going to destroy your image, not mine. That's what a feminist man says. Is this y'all king? Is this y'all king? A feminist man told a black woman that she was ghetto, that his white wife's not like her. She's not ghetto. That a feminist man said that, but y'all got it. That's y'all king though. Is this your king?
I have a question, like a legitimate question. Would people require this much evidence if it was a woman? Like if it was a black woman, people were saying she did blah blah blah. Would
No,
y'all need like the whole chronicles of the story?
no, no, no. They didn't need the evidence. Girl, they didn't need the evidence about me. You know how many people I can go down the list of the motherfuckers who turned on me for this shit. They all they needed was a few male identified women to validate the harmful man, and they was like, gotta believe them. They didn't come over here. A, a, a woman, a woman who was my homegirl who had my number, who sat on the live and listened to the whole story and came up with the conclusion herself, was able to be manipulated and turned against. Get the fuck out of here. Women will believe any allegations about a woman. And we doing the work though. Y'all got it. But to Tara's prompt, I ain't insecure. All y'all bitches can't turn against me.
What's up, y'all be conking?
Hello. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. You know this is my backup page, right? You know I'm suspended until next week.
Who is
I didn't know
that?
that. You know, ain't nobody know. Ain't nobody know that. That's crazy.
In the
Yeah.
world.
She all in the comments. Man, come on now.
Who all in the comments?
You,
Oh yeah, you know.
lady, let us know who you
I
is.
did. I put it in the street lights.
Oh.
I put it in the street lights, y'all. Put it in the street lights. But to pig off Lynn, I don't care if you have all the evidence in the world. You could have test lab results and everything else. They still not gonna believe a woman. They're not gonna believe her. You can show video footage that your leg got caught up in the dough. They still not gonna believe, you know. But we all knew about all this, back in the day when when they had that live and they kept dropping the lady and muting the lady and letting Jones do what he wanted to do. I'm not surprised. So
Yeah, I just think it's interesting because like I thought like we had a whole thing about believe women. We have a whole thing about like, all right, these men supposed to be help elevating women's voices or whatever, but they can't be criticized. And the thing is, it don't matter which one of them we talk about. They all doing the same shit. And it's like, y'all don't believe women. Y'all are black women. And y'all not believing black women. That says a lot. Like I'm not saying people can just say anything, you go along with it. But y'all need the full chronicles. When I put a compliment, I mean a comment on controversial Shannon post about him talking about something about black men is black. I'm like, well, what about when I pressed you about pub? And somebody responded like, oh, if you're gonna say anything about contraception, you need to come with facts. What? I'm not even talking to you. But like, you want to wave the flag and cover and protect this man for what? You don't even know what happened.
They don't care what happens. You trying to bring down the pillar of the community. There's so much. According to them, they're doing the work. They're protecting women and children. So they're gonna stop you in your tracks. You know, it's very
But to
problematic.
the women, are y'all doing the work or nah? Are y'all doing the work or nah? Or do it just look good? 'Cause some of the shit, I'm about to step on a lot of people's toes right now. I need you to check yourself and make sure that you're not the woman that the red pill man is talking about before you step foot up in this motherfucker. And by this motherfucker, I mean Terra Live, Me Alive, or Lynn Live, or Sagittarians for that matter. We roll with. I'm gonna need you to check yourself before you come over here and make sure that you're not the woman the red pill man is talking about. Because if you not trying to see a man who grifting and manipulating and harming women because you want to be what Tori be calling it, surprisingly, a peen pandering woman. You want to be a woman who have a man as your leader. If that's who you are, and you ain't trying to see the validity in a woman's story. Are you just angry at men because you can't get men? You need somewhere to express yourself and be somewhere to be, where you can have an outlet. Are you that woman who's still seeking male validation and you hiding under the guise of feminism? If you that woman, well, don't think that you're gonna be able to hide it for long. Not over here. You can take that shit to them other bitches live. Cause they and join on with them. Over here, we clocking your shit in real fucking time. All the harmful behavior, sweetie. We dragging you out in the middle of the street and shining lights on your ass. Cause that don't come over here with that shit. It is harmful to women. And you might be like, oh, well, what about me? What about me? No, what about my feelings? Don't drag me out. Don't call me out. That's not very feminine. That's not very feminist of you. That's not very female or woman empowerment of you to call me out. I'm a woman. No, I have to call you out because there's women in this community who are really fucking doing the work. They're really fucking doing the work, getting caught on their shit, taking the lumps, going to therapy, crying and healing and dealing with the shit they're going through. So if I let your ass over here in our community and you just get to pretend and fake and act like you that girl, you might harm one of the rest of us. No, it ain't gonna fucking happen. Extremely male centered women are harmful. So I'm gonna call you out on it every single fucking time. Every single fucking time. You're not gonna harm me and you're not gonna harm my friends. I'm sorry. Play with your mama. Don't play with me.
I felt that. I will say that like that's um like being naive to thinking like, oh, I mean, amongst women, we all like working on ourselves, trying to decenter ourselves and protect women. Like, I've learned that it ain't it ain't all fucking glitter and gold, definitely. Um, and some women they want to be amongst the women, but they want to be the man amongst the women. That's like Princella asked yesterday was talking about she the same as a high value man. What? Bitch, what are you talking about? Like, no, y'all got it. I'm good. Like, you're not about to talk down to me. You're not about to uh little girl me. You not no fucking leader over nobody. None of that shit. Nobody asked for that. Nobody, I'm not looking for that. I don't want it. That shit is weird. And I think part of me was like trying to point out to other people, no, if you can't see it, that's on you. Because as far as I know, you don't want to see it. Not the fade. No, every time that woman lie, all she do is talk shit about women. Y'all do this and y'all do that. And they be cheering that on. I was like, so all y'all think y'all better than women. Y'all lumping women together and saying you the better woman. That's what a pick me is. How y'all it can't be like the shit is blatantly obvious. So y'all motherfucker, I don't care how many of y'all over there. That shit, y'all dangerous. Cause I'm not about to sit here and just shame women for the fuck what? No. You lost your goddamn mind.
Are you talking about Princella?
Yeah. When she said that shit,
My
I
bad.
don't know.
Oops.
No, yesterday she was like, she was doing her shaming women thing that she normally do. But she was like, I'm the same as a high value man. I'm like, what the fuck?
But
Ma'am,
when
did you say this?
but was she wearing wigs and all that stuff just a hot second ago?
It's not even about the wig. That's not the thing. The thing is, like, you don't see anything wrong with that. Like men who claim they high value and shit, you don't see a problem. You don't see the problem. You got all the information. You got the whole full breakdown. You don't see how that's problematic. You want proximity to that. So you don't have a problem with the men. You just want to replace them. How is that any different than black men trying to replace YT men? Like it's all hierarchy. The hierarchy is the fucking problem. It don't matter who at the top of that bitch. It's a fucking problem.
Correct. After I heard her say the stuff she said about women, I was like, oh yeah, she, she, she's a, a man. She's saying the same stuff that they say about women. And then women think it's okay that she's saying it because she another woman. Girl, please, you can kiss my ass with that bullshit. Don't nobody need your fake ass book. Shut up, stupid.
Yeah, because it's like if you downing people that look like you, that says a lot. You're not down to people behavior. You down to people. Man, fuck all that. But oh, what's up, Dark Horse?
Hey y'all,
Hey, Hang.
I just wanted to come up and say that I noticed that because there is a small demographic of men who are well spoken and charismatic, I always notice that they go into fields like religion, they're pastors, motivational leaders, car salesmen, public offender, real estate agents, places where they can use whatever you want to call this shit to manipulate. And I wanted to say that that correlation to me is funny, right? Because they also use it on other men, right? So if that man can't formulate his thoughts, he can't be fluid with his points, people aren't listening or what have you, they get behind what they wish they could do, which is manipulate masses, right? Groups of people. Manipulating just one woman ain't shit. Me just having a wife and kids, that ain't shit. What I want to do is have that snake oil to sway the power of groups. And I noticed that about well-spoken men. I don't see well-spoken men in certain fields. That's all I'm going to say. Let that marinate. And then the other part I wanted to mention is that it's funny, right? When there is a grift, a mask, whatever this manipulation is that you're doing, I know that they stay away from certain interactions. Do you guys remember how it was? I'm here to talk to the men for public offender. I'm here to talk to the men. What it is I only want to talk to 7.259% of women because I'm going to slip the fuck up. And every time he got into a confrontation with a woman, he's slipping the fuck up because it ain't real. You can cuss out a dude, but a woman going at you and you having to defend that shit, that gets under your skin because you don't like women either. That's why you didn't want to have interactions with women. That's why you be like, well, I ain't about to discuss that. Yeah, because all your shit gonna start spewing out. Like it did with Lynn, like it did with that other chick. It's going to come out. It's going to come out how you really feel. That's why you prefer to stay talking to men. Because if the grift is, hey, I'm for you ladies, but I can't talk to you ladies, that's the flag y'all need to see. He can't talk to women for an extended amount of time. He can't go back and forth and have a debate and actually have some discourse with women. Absolutely the fuck not. That misogynistic shit gonna start slipping out. That misogynoir gonna start slipping the fuck out. Just clock it, y'all. That's all I wanted to say. Okay.
Yeah, because I think it's interesting. You ready to confront everybody. You scour the internet looking for the confrontation, but certain conversations off limits is very, very telling. If that's the case, you want to have all the conversations then.
An easy way to clock that on this app is to be on a panel and present yourself in just a regular, smegular voice that doesn't have any soft monotones or anything like that, and then see how they react. Because actually, the men that don't like women, they can't stand their voices unless it has some type of sexual connotation to it.
So I'm here and talk like me. Talk like me. I
No.
feel that. I appreciate that validation. I'm here and talk like me. I like that.
These
No,
niggas is
Miss Paula
cool.
is on for some. Miss Paula on to something. She's saying something, but y'all not. Yeah, I don't think y'all catching it. And if y'all did, please excuse me. But y'all ain't notice how a certain creator, whenever a woman get up there talking, they start to space out and not want to listen and be ready to drop her.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He starts to lose interest.
Ooh.
Because it's not like playing with your food no more. You don't want to play with that food because that food don't bring you what it need to bring. That's why they want the men up there so they can, tongue tassel with them. We see it all the time.
Yeah, but he also said that, and he complained about it before. Oh, they just want to come up here and dump. Some of it do be trauma dumping, but other times it's like, yeah, I hear you, all right, whatever. Like if it's a panel full of women, he's searching, he looking in the comments intensely, like, and that's what men. The interesting thing is he's getting rewarded for things that men typically do. They argue with other men. That's what they do. They enjoy doing that. They enjoy saying they the better man. They love saying that other men are pookies and ray rays, but not them. They the high value man. How is that shit any different? It's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing. And it's like if the women are talking, and you right there on camera, we see you, nigga. You twiddling your thumbs. You distracted. But let some motherfucker come up there. You up. You woke. You got a lot to say. Only time you want the woman there is to help you with information, feed you information. We don't know what the fuck going on. That time he stole my damn topic, and he was talking about the Shannon Sharp thing. That's what I made the video on. You could see his face. He don't know what the fuck going on. That man was stressed. That man was fucking stressed. Hold on, where the sticker at, y'all? This what his face look like. I got this sticker from his live that day. Let me see. Y'all see it? My shit not loading. Stressed. Oh Lord. You don't know what the fuck going on. All right, y'all.
You hit the wall.
Yeah, I hit the wall a while ago. I was sitting here twisting my hair up so I can crinkle it. Now I'm done.
Clock creators who don't like the sound of women's voice on display. I love
Damn.
Terry, y'all. That's why I be picking with her. Not me saying I'm nagging you.
No, it's all good. Huh?
That's Libby. No, I'm at the grocery store. My bad.
I'm about to say my club card. All right, y'all. We're gonna be waiting for Drika because Drika's supposed to be going live about this shit. I ain't got the details. I was looking at some other shit. So I'm gonna go take a break. Drika, what's going on with you?
I'm ready.
All right, good. She ready.
All right.